Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon.
Beseku.
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Ba.
Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kuwa. Beseku kudileo. Kuwa kudileo.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon radio station. Spoon television.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information.
Back to Josiah Joker.
My president.
At first, I interviewed him and he said that he will not accept
My president.
the next president of the Republic of Nigeria, which are supposed to be George Weah today, announced by the National Election Commission. Now, Mr. Josiah, your standard bearer, Ambassador Joseph Imam-Bwaka just announced that every partisan of the Unity Party should accept the fact that they are loose.
Yeah, he's spoken as my leader, and that's it. But I will tell you, as a Liberian, an individual of this country, that George Weah's election doesn't negate his incompetence. So he's not our president. Joseph Bwaka is the one I voted for him.
Not going by the order of
I voted for him, and I can vote for him 1 million more times over George Weah. And I've said that even my son, my 6-year-old son, knows that George Weah is not his president. And it's my right as a citizen to say how I feel about what has transpired. We did not lose a genuine election. We did not lose a free, fair, and transparent election.
So you are telling me
we lost a fraudulent election.
So you are telling me this
it is on the basis, and it's on the basis.
Not free and fair?
I know what credible elections are, and on the basis of that, I will repeat, I will emphasize that my president is my candidate, Joseph Yuma Boakai.
So for the next 6 years, you don't have
for the next 6 years, I'm a professional person. I'll work. I don't have to be in the public sector. I can be in the private sector. I'm a professional person. I will work. And I will not be silent, though. So in this country, we will not embrace brutal dictatorship that we've just given precedent in our country. Say that? Where there's incompetence, absolutely. Where there's incompetence, absolutely, that breeds dictatorship. It breeds tyranny. And it's obvious for you to know. That's not a subject of debate. So I am saying here, that's not the decision I made. And so that's not my president. My president is Joseph Yuma Boakai, whom I voted for, and I can vote for him 1 million more times over George Weah. Because I didn't vote for him, and I will not vote for him. He's not my president. My president remains my candidate. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Constantly threatening the states, constantly inciting people. I want to be clear. We will not tolerate those conversations.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO stand with the spoon and your boy Friday the South Bend. Charges on the beat.
After this, there will be no toleration in this country. And I can defy you that whoever insult the president and think he will walk in the street freely.
Back to Josiah Joker.
My president.
At first, I interviewed him and he said that he will not accept
My president.
the next president of the Republic of Liberia, which are supposed to be George Weah today, announced by the National Election Commission. Now, Mr. Josiah, your standard bearer, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai, just announced that every partisan of the Unity Party should accept the fact that they are loose.
Yeah,
so what's your
he's
take on that?
He's spoken as my leader, and that's it. But I will tell you, as a Liberian, an individual of this country, that George Weah's election doesn't negate his incompetence. So he's not my president. Joseph Boakai is the one I voted for. I voted for him.
Not going by the order of
I voted for him. I voted for him, and I can vote for him 1 million more times over George Weah. And I've said that even my son, my 6-year-old son, knows that George Weah is not his president, and it's my right as a citizen to say how I feel about what has transpired. We did not lose a genuine election. We did not lose a free, fair, and transparent election.
So you are telling me
we lost a fraudulent election.
So you are telling me this go on the basis,
and it's on the basis.
Not free and fair?
I know what credible elections are, and on the basis of that, I will repeat, I will emphasize that my president is my candidate, Joseph Yuma Boakai.
So for the next 6 years, you don't have
for the next 6 years, I'm a professional person. I'll work. I don't have to be in the public sector. I can be in the private sector. I'm a professional person. I will work, and I will not be silent, though. So in this country, we will not embrace brutal dictatorship that we've just given precedent in our country. Say that? Where there's incompetence, absolutely. Where there's incompetence, absolutely, that breeds dictatorship. It breeds tyranny. And it's obvious for you to know. That's not a subject of debate. So I am saying here, that's not the decision I made. And so that's not my president. My president is Joseph Yuma Boakai, whom I voted for, and I can vote for him 1 million more times over George Weah.
The lesson expire. You know how big? You keep it under the drive the car to the Jimmy. You keep money, you can go, you register the car. There you go, let's just wait time for it. Yeah, my friend, yeah, when I register, you didn't register, that's what the document when you look at license. That fire you're doing, you're enforcing, you're the sleep people there who don't even want to comply with the law. Where a rank? Yeah? Inspector, you are who inspector? Inspector of police. And you sit down, you drive with all valid driver's license. That is, my friend, not it. But you have license, maybe license like you drive with it. If you put somebody on the rear jazz, if you put somebody on the hard and expired license, you take the explanation, you don't be not bullshit. Like, go in front of your own car. Now you fit that ticket. And I ticket you pay, you have to be my own ticket.
Constantly threatening the states, constantly inciting people. I want to be clear. We will not tolerate those kind of citizens, those that constantly insulting the president. I want to be clear that after this, there will be no citizen in this country, and I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think you will walk in the street peacefully.
You want to know what is happening more of your to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry to spoon. Yeah, to spoon.
God, it's my honor to present this to you. Okay. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Mr. Acting Minister, members and officials in the Ministry of Finance, we received this communication from you on behalf of the President. We make several notations, even in our acceptance, in order to improve the budget process. We are taking additional measures. The first measure, we have announced that we will formulate a committee to investigate allegations of budget tampering. We have asked Honorable Robert One-Way to chair that process, and when we went down, it's going to be the co-chair.
Yes, what you back today, Spoon TV. Yes, what you back today,
This is just to
Okay, Spoon FM, Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. This is the Spoon Network. We want to say welcome. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. As always, on another edition of the program, this is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. I want to say thanks to our folks across the world for joining us. Thanks to everyone listening to us via radio tonight as well. My name is Nelson Colette. It's going to be another great edition of the program tonight. Our sincere apologies that we couldn't bring you the show last evening due to some technical issues beyond our control. But it's a great thing that we're here again tonight, and I want to welcome everyone. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight, because it's going to be a great show, great interaction, a lot of things happening across the country, a lot to talk about. And again, I want to welcome everyone to the show tonight. I'm going to go to the comment section and bring in a few of you, but I see Eddie Kawa here already. Nathaniel Weir is here. Win Nangbe, Eric Miguel, Mr. Miguel, thanks for joining us tonight. William B. Morris, as always. Andrew Bear is here tonight. I see Flomo has joined us. Thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Someone asking, where are you? You know, we appreciate all of you. It's because of you that we come on here. And Lai Cannon is here, Alice Ban, Angeline Smith has joined us, Bernard Davis, thanks for being here tonight. Lai A. Cannon, we appreciate everyone. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Uh, uh, Lean Lakbo, we will do our best to be on consistently. You know, we're not going off and on like LEC, you know. So thanks to everyone again. It's a pleasure being here. Kindly share the program as you come on. Let me go across and bring our co-moderator Moba Zoka on. He's already here with us in the background. Moba, thanks for joining us, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you, Nelson. Wow, my brother home tonight. I think yeah, probably that's good, bro. At least today you home, you in the studio, you run your home, but that's
Yeah.
good.
I'm not joining from studio, but again, yeah. But let me bring Josh on. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thanks, Nelson,
You
for
are mute.
having me on. And yeah, I just unmuted.
Mr.
Thank you
Widow.
for,
Yeah.
thanks, guys. Let's have a wonderful show.
Yes. Indeed. Let's have a wonderful show. Let's have a great discussion tonight. Uh, uh, we okay. Nathalie, not we are. Yes, thank you. You want to take me to the Savor Law Code? Hey, that's a big one. You know, back in the days we used to hear when you don't get ratio, you can go to which code? Tama code.
Tamakot, yeah,
Tamakot.
Tamakot.
Definitely
You know,
Tamakot.
and when somebody offends you, I say you get ratio. I said, no, I ain't get ratio. I said,
You
how?
go
Well,
to
then you
court.
gotta look for ratio. If you get ratio, you can go to court. So
You can't go to
I ain't get
court.
ratio. Yeah, thank you. Don't get me to Savor Law Code. But
Exactly.
it's good to and let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Plenty of things happening across Liberia. I want us to start by doing our opening, and then we're gonna move into the rest of the show, the rest of the conversation here tonight. Um, let's start with you, Moba. Your opening.
Oh, all right, mate. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Nelson, and thank you to all our listeners on Radio Land, Facebook, YouTube, for everyone you are watching us from, or following us. Nelson. I'm just concerned about a lot of money transfer, a lot of money saga going on in the country. Um, People just counting money, millions of dollars. But what really I'm looking at right now, Nelson, I really want for the government to carry on some audit. And they audit every day we're talking about audit. We come here, we use our time, our resources, but we see nothing that we can say, okay, you know what? Because there are a lot of other people out there. Look at the GSC. A lot of other people, a lot. We can name them here. Look at the recent one that just come out when Joshua used 3 million to put zinc on all horses to West Point. All those things, free money. People that go in government to enrich themselves and their family. It is time for the government to stand up. It is time for people to be held reliable or responsible for what they're doing to our people in the past, in the present, in the future. And let something be done. Let us set a tribunal special for corrupt people. Because, look, Nelson, every nation, before it prospers or before that nation develops, look, they got to fight corruption. And without corruption, Labra will go nowhere. Because look at the money names that people call it in the media, nursing, and we see evidence. But nothing has come out of it. The president just mute about it. We hearing 2 days arrest, 2, 3 people they put in jail, they free them. Of course they went through the process, the due process by bond and all that stuff. But it's not enough. It's not enough. The Liberian people media put the government in power to prosecute criminals, to prosecute people who stealing from the Liberian people, not people who they're doing nothing, just but they just stealing, enriching themselves and their family, building houses, get businesses, get share in companies. While the Liberian people, while the ordinary people suffer, Mr. President, you got to stand up, or else we that put you in power will go against you only because of the audit report. Now because you setting back already $10.
Again, Mama, what's your real issue with everything that's happening? Because most, as far as most Liberians are concerned, this administration is taking some steps. It may not be giant steps, but the other reports are being reviewed, and you just mentioned of about how some officials of the previous administration, are being taken to court and stuff like that. So, what specifically are you looking up to? What are your
Next thing I'm looking at
expectations?
prosecution. My focus is
But again,
investigation first. Listen, let me be clear on the record, Nelson.
Will you agree that prosecution is a process?
Nelson, let me be on the record. Let investigation be done first. Now, a lot of audit report out there, right? It established that a lot of people stole government wealth. All they need to do is to carry on the court, the due process, which is the court. And when anybody found guilty, let them be. But we see nothing. People moving freely. People think that going to government to enrich themselves. Like what I listened to one of the lawmaker when they asked him. I mean, it was a forum, and he was asked a question, and nobody could answer the question. And the girl left there. The woman asked him, he said, who the richest people in the world? She said, politician. He said, no, it's not politician. Not politician, the richest people. Politician only go there to see that business people who trade goods and services. They are the richest people in the world. But today, look at our setting. That politician, the richest people in the world, because they go there to steal millions of dollars. End of the day, they will say that Vlad, nothing will come from all of it. That Liberia, they will do it their way. But if the government is really, really serious to fight corruption, I see nothing. But now in the seven going to Amo, look, apart from Samator and okay, what they say Interpol, all that thing Samator doing, the people who on ground. Nothing.
And that's exactly. But maybe we're going to come back to this because this is a very interesting conversation. Whether the steps taken so far is sufficient relative to the fight against corruption by this administration, the promises she made versus what we are seeing now. That's something we could look at. But Josh, I want you to come in, do your opening, and then we can move on with the rest of the show.
Oh, wow. What do I start from, Nelson? Yeah. Thank you, Nelson. Look, what I want to say, I can see how my colleague here, Moba, is irritated, and it makes me to just be remorseful for, what I'm seeing, because from the onset, we said President Bouaka was sick. He did not make us shame. He fainted at his inauguration. Only sick people can faint. We said President Bouaka could not do anything significant in the country. And look at 7 months later, nothing is being done. The only thing they are doing is to take people from office and put their people there that they want because they promised them and because they were on loan, taking loan all the time. And these people were helping them with money. These are the people they are looking for jobs for. So what happened is that they will look for something against you and they say, resign so we can pay you off, you move on there. So, we can put our friends there that will promise jobs. And that's what is happening in Liberia. Nothing is happening. No development, nothing on the account. People are just, people are hungry. I see a lot of United Parties on Facebook agitating about the September 17th, that they want to have a green day. Because the people are saying to them that, look, we are even hungrier than when President Weah was in office. Why do you want us to now go in the street and jubilate when we are suffering, when you are bringing your girlfriends, your boyfriends from overseas and other places to give them jobs, while we sit here so proudly and have nothing to do? So this is ridiculous, Nelson. It's ridiculous because I feel very ashamed sometimes to call myself Liberian because of what is happening to our nation. Our people are so ignorant. Excuse for using that word. Our people are so gullible, and if you find out that some people just cajole them into doing things that that they want them to do, not in their own interest, but just so that those people can survive. And now we see President Bouaka is having parties. Ma Ketuma, I know that is the full name there, or that where we are pronouncing it. She used to have a baby
John,
behind it.
don't pretend to not know the name of the first lady. The first lady is a household name in the country. So no,
Yeah.
George, don't pretend like don't pretend
Her
to not
birthday
know.
used to be hosted behind the house. Now it's going to the
Yeah.
to big buildings where money is being spent, and all the things these guys talk against. They said doing working time, people used to go line up to the airport. They are doing the same thing. They said working out, they used to have party. They are doing the same thing at Freeport. Guys, you see, when we say this thing that people are envious in Liberia, only because you don't have the opportunity, you have the opportunity. Nelson, that studio you sit in every time, people want to come there and move you from there, right? The only reason that they cannot move you from there is because the person that has the power to keep you there is not listening to them. But our Liberian people, you are doing something for the country. If other person wants to move you from there and start talking about sweet things, they will agree to them and they will pull over and they will take the person on. Now the Unity Party is in power. Nothing significant is happening. They brought Elon
George,
Musk picture. Yeah.
what you are saying in short is that the Liberian people made a mistake by electing this administration. In your
Terrible
mind,
mistake. Terrible.
as, as,
Yeah.
as part of your opinion, you think that
Mm-hmm.
the previous administration, which you support, which you campaigned for here day and night, but sadly, the Liberian people did not listen to you about, that
Yeah.
administration was the best, and you think that they made a mistake. They made a
They
mistake.
made a terrible
But
mistake. And that's it. And one of the things I
do you
like is that these days,
do you really think if you had if you had your house in order, if you had your homework done very well, the assignment that was given to you by the Liberian people for if you did that assignment very well, do you really think we would have been talking about your removal or the removal of the CDC in just the first term, the first 6 years? Do you really think so?
Nelson, look, and for the fact that only the people who are working government cannot keep government into power. The people of the country can keep the government in power because they have the power, right? So when the people
Mm.
are discontented, only because they were fooled, they were told, like when they say when you're in a good house, the bad house can always be calling you. That's what can happen. You live in comfortably, somebody okay, I will do better, I will do better. You leave and go and you start to regret. And that's what's happening to the Liberian people. And they will regret. And this is the beginning because we told them, Nelson, we told them over and over that President Waka is not closely related to any success. Nothing on the account. This man is not progressive. He lived in the same house, not because he wasn't making money to build a new house, but he lived in the same house for many years without progress, nothing. And you expect this man to come to the national scene to want to move our country forward. This is a man who is in his own life. He's contented. He's happy with what he is. So he cannot move
John.
anything. So it's
Thanks
just
a
going to
lot,
be ridiculous for our country. Thank you.
We're going to move into the conversations tonight, the different issues we have to talk about. But I want to welcome Raymond to the show. Raymond, thanks for joining us tonight. You can do your opening just before we move on. Raymond will actually be the last person to do the opening. Anyone joining us here after will come in the discussion now. Raymond, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I would like to speak to my Liberian people, picking up from where my brother Josh left. Liberian people, the person who would tell you the decision you made and you took over 6 years to form this decision, that you've made a mistake, first is disrespecting you and considering you not to be intelligent, or you do not know what affects you or what situation you've experienced. And that is just grossly disrespect to your intelligence and the authority you have as a people. But who would do such a thing other than those who are being indoctrinated and brainwashed under the evil tree called the sycamore tree in the compounds of the CDC? They have no nationalistic spirit. They don't feel nothing for their country, but they got this rage, this anger, and only one passion for a court leader. And this thing have destroyed our country so much, and it's so sad that's what we have to deal with. But this government that we have elected belongs to all of us, the people of Liberia. And we have an opportunity. And thank God this government has begun as an open government.
While everything that's happening in the government, we have an opportunity to discuss. In 7 months, since this government got, not quite 7 months, 6 months, since this government took seat and took an authority, there are a lot more things we can discuss. Today we're discussing the budget. Today we're discussing everything. Today we're discussing even the report from the auditing commission, the GAC, about audits. Today we have a say in our government. We are able to hold our government official and elected official feet to the fire. Currently, the current president pro tempore and the speaker is being questioned about whether they tampered with the budget after it got decided by people called representatives and senators. This is an open form of government. This is how we reform. This is how we correct all the wrong. Back then, everybody were a praise singer. Before they come, they would say, doctor, 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 all lies. If you don't earn a thing, you can't be called a thing. But that's the kind of illusion and delusion we're in. Now we have woken up to the reality. It's upon all of us. The government is not successful if the people do not hold the government to caution. The people do not call their government to action. And that's what we're
30
doing.
seconds.
And thank God we have people in charge who intend to do the right thing. For the first time since our civil war, we are talking about the War Economic Crime Code. That's a major gain. For the first time that the GSC report is in newspaper and everybody can talk about it. For the first time, a national orator came and urged the president and asked the president, say, look, you proceeded wrongly. This executive order you got to get the office of the War Economic Crime Court established was on wrong footing. And we saw what the president have done. This is the first time where our president can listen to someone not even in government, only because he's saying the right thing. We are on the right path. It's going to take us 6 years, and I can assure every Liberian from the way things are, after 6 years, we'll be having a foundation to build a good country upon. Not the past 6 years where there was corruption. Yeah, but this time, people building condominiums, things they never own. When they say they were soccer star, they start owning it when they are president, and the rest of the country suffer. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Raymond. Thank you very much. Let me welcome Anthony to the show. Anthony, it's good to have you on. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're moving straight into the conversations, the different talking points we have tonight, because yes, we want to make sure we can exhaust a whole lot. I'm sorry, Anthony, you can't do your opening now because we have to move ahead. But something very important, and I just want us
And
to.
later, come on, let me pick up paper.
You are not muted.
Oh,
Josh.
sorry.
So I know who going pick up people. This technology thing is very.
The man talking to the CDC brother, Anthony. The Anthony, the man talking to the CDC brother.
But I want you guys to watch this video. I know a lot of you have watched what we're seeing right here. But I want you to watch this video again.
The lesson expire. You're not happy. You keep the other drive the car to the billing. You'll be in finance. You go to register the car. Let it down. Let's see what you come for it. Yeah, my friend. Yeah, when I register, you didn't register. That's your document when you look at license. That fire you you're enforcing. You're the see people there who don't even want to comply with the law. When I rank. Yeah? Inspector, you are who inspector? Inspector of police. And you sit down, you drive with all valid driver's license. That is, my friend, not it. But you have license, maybe license like you drive with it. If you put somebody on the rear judge, if you put somebody on the had an expired license, you take the explanation, you don't be not bullshit. Like, go in front of your car. Now you flip that ticket. And I ticket you pay, you my open ticket.
So there you have it. The Inspector General of the Liberian National Police. Tuesday, was it Wednesday morning? Thursday morning, early Thursday morning, decided to take on to the traffic directing the traffic somewhere around the 540 area, and then bump into this whole Terling situation. I mean, and it's almost a norm. It's almost a usual thing in Liberia now, where it's not just about the lawmakers anymore. In the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening hour, when there's a jam traffic, majority of the people will take the opposite lane. For the lawmakers, some of them who have the sirens, good for them. But um, it's a normal thing, especially if that person works in government. Oh, then that's great. This police officer, an inspector, is driving. Apparently, he's running late. He decides to take the opposite lane. The inspector general intercepted him right at the time when he's in a hurry, going to do the Liberian job. And again, I want you to take into consideration here that this man is an inspector. He's someone in authority, and he was intercepted. In the process, why the IG was directing the traffic, and he gave him $50 ticket, mandated him to go and register his vehicle. Now, I want us to weigh in our thoughts and make some analysis around this particular action here. There are some who say that, oh, this was a good action. The inspector general is setting precedent. There are others, on the other hand, who are saying that this man is an inspector. And so, in a case where he was maybe in violation, he should have been taken to the police headquarters, since in fact there's a division there, so that he can go through the process and he be dealt with. I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on this, guys, and of course, we can start with you, Mobile, and then we'll move to Josh, Raymond, and Anthony will be last on this one. Just 1 minute before we move to the next topic.
Thank you, Nelson. First of all, let me make our audience to understand. Traffic violation is not a crime. Traffic violation is not a crime. If you violate traffic rules, even in that process, yeah, a lot of people, I saw people on Facebook, going on Facebook telling, oh, they must go arrest, they should arrest the man. Can't people know you can't arrest him? All you can do, you give him ticket. You give him ticket, he go, he pay the ticket, and you get him. You tell, if possible, if you want to send to court, that's fine. It left for you. You can send to court, maybe. All depends. Therefore, the lesson issue, I don't think it mean. I don't think, because I see a lot of people on Facebook, and let me first applaud the IG. He's doing extremely well, because for every nation, to be built, you got to start with your own people. Your own people, when they violate the law, let them pay. But but for that officer, he was in the wrong. And secondly, the IG did the exact thing by giving him, or they say, get a man ticket. Maybe you will say, and the man can still drive a car. You can't tow the man car. Even your car not registered, you get insurance, right? If your car not registered insurance, they can tow it. Maybe on the Sunday, but if you not get your license is valid, I tell anybody they can tow your car. If your if your license expire, they can tow your car. If you get a registration, you get your insurance, your license is expired, they can tow your car. I challenge anybody to bring a law in a driving book. I challenge you. All they can do, yes, all they can do next thing, they will give you ticket. They will give you ticket and they'll tell you to go renew your lesson. But for them to tow your car because your lesson expired, look, people don't know sometimes they work and they forget on the issues. No, especially when it comes to lesson, insurance.
Are you saying that the car was towed? The car was put on the tow?
No, it was not towed. I saw a lot of people saying the RG supposed to tow his car and carry to Central, and then also carry him and put him in jail. I saw a lot of people making that comments. And I went on, I think one of the comments explained to them. A lot of people on my post were commenting what I said. So it's not something like for somebody to driver lesson to be expired, and you say because that driver lesson expired, why you told the person car if you get the person a ticket to go pay and renew that lesson? Get the police a
Okay,
ticket like what he did.
I want to hold you there a bit more, but let's move to George quickly because we just want to run in on this one and and make sure we do justice to what everything we have on the plate tonight. George, let's hear your thoughts. You watched that 1 minute video there with what happened in the traffic just yesterday.
Look, I just before I can change, I just want to correct my brother Nelson. Not Nelson, but Moba. Moba, if you have an invalid license, you cannot drive. You either leave the car there or call somebody who can drive and have a valid driver's license. That person will take your car, but you cannot get back in the car and drive. If you do that, you'll be arrested on scene and be in prison. So I hope you get that because I don't know what you're trying to say and you're very emotional about it, but I think you're wrong. So here's what I want to say. I think, look, Nelson, this the IG action to me, in my own view, was a showmanship. I think he did that conveniently. There was camera. Conveniently, they show him throughout everything that happened. I think it was staged. If it is staged so that people are, people take precaution now to make sure that driver's licenses are in tight before getting on the street, I think it's a good thing. But I think it was staged, and I think the IG school have done that at his working place to make sure that all his officers who are drivers have driver's license before they drive. Because I'm sure that car looked like a private car, but I'm sure at work these guys are issued vehicles to use, and especially this guy being a ranking officer should have a driver's license before he can drive the entity vehicles. So I think it was a showmanship. I don't give any credit for what he did.
Another thing to take into consideration here is that the vehicle was not an entity's vehicle; it was his private vehicle.
No, it wasn't.
That's why if you watch the video, there was a portion where he was being asked about the registration document of the vehicle, and stuff like that. But again, just laying your thoughts, then we'll move to.
Let me summarize what I just said. Look, I think it is about time that our people, even those in authority, should be able to abide by the rules and regulations to make sure that these people, we pay them our taxpayer money. They should use that money to get their licenses in place. It cannot be given to them free. These people should be able to abide by the law. You cannot be a traffic inspector and you have an invalid driver's license in your pocket, and you want to enforce the law by other people or on other people to make sure that their licenses are in place. I think that guy he should be penalized for this. And he cannot drive, like that. So look, I just want to end like that.
Okay, Raymond, let's hear you.
And that's the beauty of this show. We have people from diverse background who can speak to issue. And Malva hit the hammer on the nail. Thank God you got some expertise in this subject matter. A traffic violation is not a crime. What the inspector general did was to issue him a ticket, and he himself has the right to challenge that ticket in court, which I did before in Liberia. And a lot of people sometimes just got a perception about Liberia. I saw two officers one point in time to try to corner me. I stood up to them to give me a ticket, and I took it to the traffic court. The judge asked whether I wanted him to reduce the ticket. I told him no. The ticket was given wrongly. And the judge said, you want to challenge that? You think those who went to the academy, you can fight them? I said, I know my rights. And I went to the court. He warned them that the next time they did such, there would be penalty. He apologized to me on behalf of the Republic of Liberia in court. And he took away the ticket, restored my driver license, and I went on. So what I'm trying to say, and that was during President Ellen Johnson's elite tenure. What I'm trying to say, look, what the IG did is to show to everyone that we have to be law-abiding, and this is a new day. Previously in government official had a low clemency, a blank clemency. Anything you can do, you go away with it. Once you belong to the authority and the authority know you, only ordinary people were harassed by the same police and the likes. But today, thank God that the IG is setting this kind of caveat, sending it to everybody. Look, everybody should be. And this time we should go beyond even that. The law the legislators passed is an illegal law. You cannot use another lane for one set of people. And no, the law belongs to all. You're a representative, you're being paid, or a legislator, you're being paid with taxpayers' money. Get up early, go to work, show your seriousness, do the people job. Don't lay down to your house and in 15 minutes you want to be to work at the racing everybody in traffic, sitting the lights and getting on the turn lane. All the fundamental principles you bend it and create a law, that's an illegal law. Not because you have the right to do something, you should abuse it. So I think these are the kind of thing the population need to demand from them. And the Constitution gave us all the authority, all power inherent in the people. We need to come up with a protest against those in the center for that illegal law to repeal that illegal law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raymond. I want to bring Anthony in finally on this one, then we transition. Anthony?
Yeah, I was unmuting myself. Good evening, everyone. Absolutely, a traffic violation is not a crime. That is true. Absolutely. But my only take from that video was, why does he have to take his vehicle to the place to get a ticket taken and get a driver license regularized? A police inspector who is in traffic, his job is to control the traffic and also ask individuals who are operating motor vehicles to have the proper document, have proper driver licenses. How can he then don't have a proper driver license? That is the only part of it that I saw that was not a good thing. But yes, I don't think it is staged. I think there was the ongoing community policing that the IG had decided to undertake, and some of the police officers don't even know him, have not seen him. This is an opportunity also for them to introduce themselves and for him to see them. You saw he asked the guy what's your rank, things of that nature. So I don't think it was a stage. I know camera was already going to be there because he's doing the community policing. I think he went to Bon County yesterday, if I'm not mistaken also. But my only take is the fact that the man driver license is expired. It has been established by the IG that your license is expired. I understand he didn't know. Yeah, that's true. We've all been basic sometimes, but at the point that he has been identified as expired, you cannot operate a vehicle now, right? If you didn't know, that's fine. But once it was recognized that it is expired, somebody else can drive that vehicle, go regularize your license, and take your car back, right? I think that's what we need to be doing here. So for me, the truth have to be told. So one side of the coin, the rule must be followed. Another side of the coin, give the president a chance to go through the result of GSA because people didn't declare that.
Don't
move on. That's my time. I choose what topic.
But on one topic, nothing.
But guys, let's do this. But let's
go by the rules now.
Yeah. When you talk about rule of law,
guys,
rule of law on all levels. The rule of law, open government, and respecting the rule of law should be abide. It says declare your asset before you take office. You didn't
that's not true. You didn't understand it. Law that you commit. No, that's not true. Don't misinform. That's not true. Don't misinform the people. You didn't understand.
Guys, let's do this, right? Anthony, we thought to pass on this topic because there are lots of other things we have to talk on. That's why we gave just 1 minute. That's why we gave just 1 minute. And in fact, your 1 minute got exhausted. You didn't grace periods. Now you started going to ask myself. Okay, thank you very much, Anthony. But again, and it's a great one. Most of you said, yes, we can always make analysis around these issues. Yes, and as always, we have the right to speak on those different happenings. Now, we saw the president recently visited what's the place? Grievances. And immediately upon the return, upon the president's return, he did something. He set up a committee, and I know a lot of you saw that that which was issued by the executive. And maybe I should put this up because this is very important. Maybe I should put it up now. Let's see if we can do this. So the president set up a committee with the objective of making sure that the issues of road connectivity or the road challenges in the country is resolved. And this is happening after the 100 days. And this is where we're coming from. This is happening after the 100 days. Okay, let me get this up. This is happening also at a time when we have the what's the name? The road fund. The road fund. The office of the National Road Fund fully functional. And this is happening when at a time when Liberians, yeah, so I just dropped that in so that I can be able to get this document up here. Okay, so let me put it up now. Okay, so this is it. So I want to read what it says here. And okay, so this is it. It says the president for immediate release, Excellency President Brakai and Road Maintenance Rehabilitation and Financing Committee. Executive Mansion, in an effort to achieve the objective of road pillar of the arrest agenda, President Brakai has appointed Road Maintenance Rehab and Financing Committee. The committee is expected to assess the challenges of road network, engage partners, and identify resources, including funding for the building, maintenance, and rehabilitation of roads in the country. Who are those on the committee? You have the vice president is the chairperson of the committee. You have the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning is a member. Public Works is a member. Agriculture is a member. Presidential Affairs is a member, and then you have the National Investment Commission and the GSA as members. And this committee, according to this release, is expected or mandated to start work effective immediately. Now, again, I want to go back. This committee is being set up when we have the National Road Fund. This committee is being set up after the 100 days. The committee comes into play after the president had paid a visit to grievances. Though he went to address the code situation there and in the code and stuff like that, but then he felt he had an experience of the bad road situation in that part of the country. Immediately upon his return, he decided to set up this committee. Is this committee going to do anything different from what we've seen the National Road Fund do over the years? Okay, so you go back to the very function of the committee. The vice president chairs the committee. He said the committee is expected to assess the challenges of. That's the first responsibility. They're going to be assessing the challenges of the roads across the country. They're going to be engaging partners. Who are the partners they're going to be engaging? And they're going to be identifying resources including funding for the building and maintenance. Now, the reason why I mentioned road fund is because road fund is already clubbed with this responsibility of the maintenance of our road. All right, the National Road Fund works closely with the Ministry of Public Works and other entities. They are there to maintain the road. And Raymond, is a good thing that you have been working closely with some of those people. You're gonna weigh in your thoughts on this as well. So they going to be identifying resources and funding. They're going to be working to maintain the road and the rehabilitation of the road and all of those things across the country.
Could you please
Is
drop
this
that letter in the chat so we can
so
read it?
let me drop it in the chat room. Now, again, what this committee is going to be doing, is it in any way different from what the Public Works Ministry is called with the responsibility to do? Is it different from what the National Road Fund has been doing? Oh, okay. So if it is about going out to get fundings and identifying partners and stuff like that, do we need a committee to be able to do this? I want us to take on the conversation from here. Could it be that the president, having had the experience of what the ordinary people go through on a daily basis, now came back, set up the committee? Was this part of the plan, the arrest agenda? Was this even part of the plan to have this committee set up? Now, I want us to take the conversation from here as I put the other documents up. Moba, I want you to start the conversation, and then we're going to move to George next.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. I think the committee, look, Nelson, how much we agree with all the appointment, all the small group, all those stuff, but Nelson, we want to see action. We want to see if you put somebody somewhere to do something, we want to see that action. We agree. And all the people that listed over there, the president, the GSA, all the other lists and things, yes, they can be a help contributor to the process. But next, we want to see the action. We want to see people. We want to see when the president say this, let it happen. Let people work. It's not every day show you that can you talk and we see not although they just appoint those people and probably they start, maybe they organize themselves yet to probably start the process. But I think in like as we said, nursing time is not waiting for nobody. If the Liberian people put you there to do their work, Mr. President, do the work. Don't mind what people will say. Don't mind, because look, nursing, I just want to believe that people within this government, people within the Joseph Yemabraga government, they don't want to see him prosper. They don't want to see good things. So end of the day, we hear the other committee are being set up, but it dissolved because noise come from there. The other committee are being set up, it dissolved. Look at the asset recovery committee. We can hear about it again. So next thing, all the committee and thing, I'm what we embrace it, but guess what? I'm not going to like private get into it, like put my head on chopping board if it's going to work. No. All I want to see is what? Action. That's it. That's my point, I think. I agree. Like the president.
Let me ask you this question, Moba. Was it in your view, given your own analysis around this issue, was it of a pressing need to set up a committee? Is this in the first place what we need? Is there any urgency attached to setting up a committee? Do we need a committee to get our roads reconditioned, to maintain our roads? Do we need a committee to go out there and source fundings for our roads? Do we need a committee to be able to work with partners, to engage with partners for the road connectivity issue, which is already part of the arrest agenda? Do we need a committee for this?
Yeah, I'm not against the committees, all the committee the president been setting. What I against, or what I'm talking against, is the implementation, is the setup. Like you can set everything up, nursing, but what we want to see is the work. Now we agree. Look at our roads.
No,
Look at our
if you're talking about work, then maybe someone may say that then the government is on course because the recent work done across the country, recent work done across the country with respect to road connectivity. A lot of people say, "Oh, 22 million," but it has made certain parts of the country pliable, places where people would not usually go and commute the way they're doing now.
Nothing. Look, if we're talking about road, right? Okay, we agree to the southeast, like it's emergency. We agree. But listen, the committee, if the committee is there to probably start road, right? From Broad Street all the way Simple Bridge, I will listen. All the way going bombing, I will listen. Look at when Eddie took power. Look at that Japanese highway when the Japanese people got that contract. All were happy. And guess what? The people, there was no, I don't even know during that time committee was said that the way Judge, or the way the president doing it. But Nelson, my concern is if the committee had been set by the president, let them work, they will see the work. Let them say, okay, this is a road, we connect it now. The committee will say we are pushing. Look at the road form. It is so much that going fiasco. So Nelson, I think the entire country, so corrupt people, including the past regime part was 99.9%.
Thank you. Let's move to Josh, and then we can take Raymond next.
Look, Nelson, I will sound redundant tonight, but I will have to say President Boakai does not know what he's doing. President Boakai has set up about 9 committees. He has set up 9 committees, right? Since he came, even maybe more. These are just my count. He set up a committee to investigate LTA, the audit report from LTA that hasn't come with anything yet. Look, this president is so confused that you want to think that no one is advising or he's stubborn or what is happening with him. I can't get it. But here's the thing. The Public Works Ministry is there to assess the road network of the country. Assess it, make recommendations to the minister. They go to the road fund, they get money from there, they spend it and fix the road. This man is creating another ministry. It doesn't even advance.
Again, George, I want us to get it straight. This is not another ministry. This is a committee. They're coming together of several ministries, let's say entities of government to perform.
Nelson. Here's why I'm trying to describe it as a ministry.
Vice President. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's why I'm trying to describe it as a ministry, Nelson. Okay. Because he did not say to advise the Minister of Public Works, right? He did not say so. So the thing is that it's just like it's like another body above the Ministry of Public Works that will decide where money is spent, which road to build, which road not to build. You getting me? Or which road not to attend to. It is ridiculous that he's saying that they should assess. What kind of thing in a country to assess road, Nelson? The roads are bad. Even from Broad Street to Douala, the roads are bad. Oh, you have to set up a meeting before you know that the roads are bad. Look, Nelson, if this president does not know what he's doing, let him just put his full country down and walk away.
Is it fair to say that the president is being proactive here?
He's not being proactive, Nelson.
Look, I'm coming. This is happening at the time when the president paid a visit to Riverside. He saw how bad the road was. When the presidential convoy went to that place, when they came back, those who saw the presidential convoy know exactly what I'm talking about. It was terrible. I mean, very, very dirty. Yes, someone may say it's the rainy season, so you expect that. But the truth of the matter is the road condition there is bad. So now the president comes back, given the experience or whatever, he decides to set up a committee. Is there something we can compare to maybe what's happening at the level of the Senate, wherein the Senate is clothed with the responsibility to make law and pass on legislations and stuff like that, but they also have committees and they work through those committees.
That's not so.
who on this?
Yeah, that's not so, Nelson, because he's gone and brought in the vice president to sit there as the head of that committee, right? And then he put the public works minister there. He brought finance people and put them there. He put all these people together. That means there's another body set up that will decide what happens to roads in the country, how financing are, collated and everything. Nelson, it's just redundant because the thing is that we know our roads are bad. We have a minister who he trusts and gave the responsibility to take care of the roads to make sure that if he comes by and see that if they not carry my brother Anthony Gates, how they call it, senator, who said the roads are perfect now. He did not take it. He went alone and got all his cars stopped probably, and then comes by, go to the minister and say, Minister, what he told me I did not see on the road. What can we do to make sure that that road is better? That's what he's going to be doing. But he go and set up another committee. He has set up 8 and maybe 9 committees, and nothing has happened. Anything. Look, the drug and alcohol, whatever he termed it. People are still dying from overdose in the country. People are still, the push is getting even more. What kind of committee the man will settle? I think the president has no idea what he's doing. He's making things up as he goes. And if he ain't able to do, let him just put it down and walk away. Because it's ridiculous. Every time he's setting up a committee, every time when they say somebody's head is hurting, he will set up a health committee to go and deal with the headache. When they say somebody's stomach running, he will set up a running stomach committee to go and do it. It's ridiculous. We are just sick and tired of the president making up things as he goes. He had your agenda. You say you call it arrest. Why can't he use the arrest to deal with these things that are enshrined within the arrest agenda? The arrest agenda only talked about the finance, the public works ministry, attending to the roads. I've got engineers there who will go on a periodic road assessment to make sure what they can do to remedy. And when we listen to the public works minister, he said contracts are given out for all the roads that will have machines on the road from year round, trying to make sure that the road are pliable. While they look for a sustainable or strategic solution to the problem. But this old man is just going ahead, making things up as he goes. It's just like grandpa sitting down among his children and telling stories. It's ridiculous. I am sick and tired of listening to the old man setting all community from one to the other and doing nothing. Because nothing is happening in the country. The country is redundant. Nothing is happening. The only thing they are doing is that they are paying people to get off their jobs so they can put their people there. That's all he's doing. And nothing is happening. 7 months later, the only police boot he ever built that he commissioned is damaged. That place he went at, that courthouse he went to dedicate, it was built by the previous government. He went there and we agreed, go ahead, because government is continuity. But this man, he just doesn't know what he's doing. It's sad. Look, if he cannot be impeached, let him just walk away from this thing and give somebody the place to do it. Maybe it will be better. Look, I want to stop there.
Thank you, Josh. Raymond.
Well, there's a principle called the principle of first knowledge. If you don't understand what you're talking, you will talk. But everything you say will just be spewing things in different direction. You need to understand how government works and what committees does in government to be able to communicate that thing. But when you don't have that understanding and you want to criticize the thing, well, the committee setup, the objective of the committee is to achieve the objective of the road pillar in the arrest agenda. And this committee has to do with people who already got the statutory mandate in government to deal with similar nature of work. And bringing them together so that they can work as a working group, so that they can have close line of communication and speed things up and achieve things in a fast-paced manner. And the objectives given to the committee, not to assess role. My brother talking about assess role. No, it says to assess the challenges within the road network. The road network, the challenges don't have to do with the condition of the road. It has to do with everything from a project perspective. How to source the funds, how to do their planning, up to the implementation and the likes. That's why on this committee they got the National Investment Commission. so that they can even go look out there for partners who have a line of work in investing in road network. Private-public partnership. That's some of those things. Public Work Ministry don't have to leave their work and go looking out. And it says to even engage with our development partners. That's one of the objectives. That's not the work of the Ministry of Public Works. Funding, finances. The Ministry of Public Works, when I worked there, we did an assessment of the road network, given the condition at the time more than 6 years ago, and we needed more than $3 billion to have our road paved. Can the Public Works Minister source that by himself? These are the kind of challenges in the road network, and these people with their very expertise, their very access to resources, will sit together and will bring their heads together. In government, they say teamwork is the dream work. You're bringing people with different expertise on the table. They say two heads always better than one. So the president is bringing multiple people who got multiple connections, who can access multiple sources, and let the dialogue and find a solution to our problems. And Nelson gave a wrong information. This letter is dated the 13th. The president went to turn over the court stuff on the 14th. So this was done even before the president made his trip. It wasn't immediately after the president made his trip. The president made his trip on the 14th, and this letter is dated the 13th. So it was a day before. But coincidentally, it's around the same period. So yeah, you can say that. But again, Nelson, you said it right. During the rainy season, if you drive just even 10 minutes on the earth road, your car gets dirty. So if you're driving on a long stretch of earth roads, the fact that the president went and came back on the same day tells you that the roads are pliable. If the roads were not pliable, the president would not achieve that trip on the same day. For us who are road engineers and understand the issues about roads, that is called pliable roads. And nobody sat and promised the Liberian people that we're going to have paved road in the first 100 days. Pliable roads. The fact that people can leave from one location. That's the objective of the road at this time. In the challenge period of rain, where we're having flooding around the country, still roads are pliable. Liberian people have learned to be grateful. The past 6 years, it wasn't possible to make that trip, go and come back on the same day. It wasn't possible, even with 4-wheel vehicles. Now that is happening, that's because intervention took place, spending $8+ million to give Liberian access to their various county capitals within the rainy season, where goods, services, and even individuals to enhance our economy, so that people who need to access hospitals can go in time. This is major. The $8 million are comparable to the value of those services being provided and the effect on the economy. How we now have these roads pliable at this given time, the cost of things, the cost of transportation, and even the services to reach to those places will have cost us more than $8 million. And who are going to be paying? The ordinary people, the household. Today, people can testify that their transportation have cut by far. That's the essence of roads. That's the economic values of roads. It can't be overstated. And Nelson, the objective of the committee, not to assess the condition of the road as it is now, no. The challenges within the road network, coming from sourcing, coming from planning.
Yeah. Okay.
And these are line ministries. All of them have
I want to put this release back up. I'm going to put this release up, so again we can take a look at what's here. Nelson,
I didn't see the yellow machine on the committee.
If the work of the committee is not to assess the road, then why is it captured there? Why is it there to assess the road? And then
no, Nelson, you read it wrong. The committee is expected to assess the challenges of the road network. That's not assess.
But that's the same thing.
No.
That's the same thing.
No.
Okay, what is considered the road network? What is considered the road network? What is considered the road network? What is considered a road network? You're asking, then you answer. I work as a road network officer. So what you call road network? Not the roads, the connectivity of the roads.
No, not connectivity.
Okay. So
So,
Raymond, let's
so
do
when
this.
it
Let's do this.
says,
Raymond. When they say access to access, this committee is going to assess the challenges of road network. How is it different from accessing the road? The sake of our audience,
so now
maybe
for the sake
want to
for the sake
place
of
our
our
eyes on.
audience, right? If it was the
Mhm.
conditions of the road, they were going to specify the conditions of our road network. But when you say the challenges, anything that have to do with the funding, the implementation, and even the administration for this sector called the road, that's what this committee is meant to do.
Okay.
This
So
committee, hold on now. Let me just
It's
give
all
more
part and
insight.
parcel
Let
of
me
the
give
same
more
thing.
insight. Let me give more insight.
Oh, come
let's
on, man.
let's bring
Jesus.
justice to the conversation.
So now, see, let me just give you a little background. You know how the
Okay,
road
I'm
form.
coming.
Let
Before
me
you
give
give
you a
the
little
background, before you give the background, Raymond, I'm gonna come right back to you. George is disagreeing with you on this aspect. Let's hear how George understands what his understanding of assessing the challenges of the roads. George, are you
No,
there?
it
Can you
never
come
said
back?
the road. So again, read the
Yeah.
full
Yeah, I'm
sentence.
here, Nelson. I'm here,
Assessing,
Nelson. Look,
Josh, what's your understanding or interpretation or analysis around this particular aspect that has to do with the function of this committee?
okay, Nelson. In the first place, that the pronunciation is to assess, right? Assess means
Access the challenges of road network.
the road network. That means the entire road network of the country. That means all the connecting roads. What's the problem? What's stopping them from being good? To evaluate the roads, right? How everything is working in the road, whether it is bad, it's good, or it's inadequate, or whatever is the thing. It's the entire network of the road. You're talking about administration. It's the same thing. Who administers the road? It's the public work administrator. So I don't know what Rema is trying to do. Rema is twisting and turning, trying to find ways to just make things more complicated. And people should not understand what he's trying to say. The thing is that the road network, even our brother here is a network engineer. He knows what we're talking about. Network consists of all the linkage, everything that links together, that form, that the same will get organs, right? So I don't know what my brother is saying. I just don't want to dwell on this. It's just trivial.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before
Raymond,
I
you want
close,
to conclude, then move to
before I
Anthony.
close, like I said, it's holistic. It doesn't have to do with the conditions of the road. And that's where the both of you spoke from the perspective of the conditions of the road. No, it doesn't have to do with the conditions of the road. If it was the conditions of the road, we engineers and in our sector, we use technical jargons. We're going to be to assess the conditions, the existing conditions. The word existing were going to be mentioned of the roads. But that
So the
didn't
person that
say,
wrote that paper, that engineer,
you know who wrote that paper before you got to the president office?
my man, stop it, team, man.
You work a day in government before? You know how government works?
Yes, of course. And good government too. Australian government.
My man, you lying, man. You lying. I said you
Look at
lying.
you.
I challenge
Australian
you.
government.
You lie. You don't work for the Australian government. That's a lie. I
I've
challenge you.
worked with the Australian government. I'm
You
trying to tell
lie.
you.
You can't prove it. You lying. I'm telling you, you lying. That's not true. You come here with a lot of booger lies all the time, and that's just one.
Okay, guys.
You don't
I'm
even
not
know
going to
how
argue with you.
You don't know how
Nelson,
it works. The
I'm not going
president,
to argue with
now, before the president write a letter, that information must come from a technician. The president do not author any information that does not come from someone who has the authority and an expert in that area, that sector, expert providing him the information.
So the engineers running for the president now.
If the president have a letter to speak to that issue, it will have to come from the Ministry of Public Works.
Man, what way elaborate government so we not see.
Let's not interrupt Raymond.
That data or that information will have to come from the Ministry of Public Works. And from the information, the Ministry of Public Works, they have subject matter experts who will use the technical jargon. Every time you hear the president utters any statement in his speech, he did not manufacture that information by himself. It came from the sector. Some of you need to understand before you come here and try to deceive the Liberian people. You do not even understand how government functions. Then you won't hear and put a spin on everything.
Thank you. Let's hold you there.
Anthony, Nelson, just 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, so Josh, we're going to come back. Anthony has been sitting there for a very long time. Let's give him the time to Go ahead, Anthony. Let's hear you.
I mean, remember took 5 minutes for the additional 2 minutes or 7 minutes. So I leave them
and
get
then
3 minutes uninterrupted.
and then you
Yeah, I'm
and then
telling
you
you,
take 1
let me
minute,
get my 3
and then
minutes
you take 1
uninterrupted. And I
minute
don't
to
want
respond to
nobody
Raymond
questioning
and
me. Now,
Josh
just keep
into
your question to
action.
yourself. They are finished talking. So here's my take on this rule committee thing here. If President Baka deem it necessary to have 3, 4, 5 committee to one government ministry, that's up to him. He's the president. He decides how he runs the day-to-day activity of our country. The only time you hear me talking, criticizing the administration, if they violate the principle, rules, and regulation of Liberia, you will hear me. He's the president. If you say, you know what, each Obama there in America, he had a czar on almost every ministry here. He had a czar for this one, czar for the housing, czar for this. He had that. That's the terminology they get. It's the president prerogative to run his ministry, the government, the way he so choose. The only time some of our country will start holding the president accountable, and about to holding accountable too. You see, when the role
But then when you try to hold the president accountable, Anthony, if you want to give the president the space to do, if you want to give the president the space, the chance, to do everything the way he wants it, and maybe you don't want to make analysis around those issues, you give the president that free space. Let me put it that way. Then it should be holistic, but it can be when it comes to certain things you want to give the president free will. You are just here criticizing the president or this administration.
I'm starting my time all over. I'm starting my time all over. I'm starting my time all over. So here's the thing: the president is the person who runs the day-to-day activities of the nation. He has that executive privilege to do just that. So he can determine and say, you know what? Each ministry will have a superior committee that will run X, Y, and Z. That's his prerogative. Whatever committee you want to set up, that's his business. That's not my point. Here's my point. When you take taxpayer money to do something, do it right. You understand? When the rehabilitation started, I said I will commend the rural rehabilitation, but I will not celebrate. I will only celebrate after the peak of the rainy season. Because here's the thing. When you plow an earth road that is not paved, there is a regimen, and you're the engineer, you correct me on that. You can put gravel and also put some concrete in areas that are very bad, that always have issues. Because not all the road can cut, not all part of the road can get over. But certain areas that always having trouble, where the road can be bad completely, where the people have to, get out of the car have to be pulled and all of that different thing. Those areas has to be identified. A proper care has to be taken so that when it rains, whether it rains or ain't real, that area is taken care of. We ain't even entered September yet. The road to Grand Gita now is a challenge. The road to Grand Gita now that people were celebrating now. Right now in the Grand Gita chat room, they're looking, where's Senator Zopiro? Where's Senator Zopiro? Pictures, videos upon video in that group chat now. Where's Senator Zopiro? Because this is the role he was pressing this administration. You understand? I don't have problem with this administration, whatever committee they want to set up. But if you, before the war, that role applied, but during the rainy season, it was not cutting because I lived it. I saw it. I was not born during the war. So I saw it, that during the rainy season, we still went up and down our road with no problem. But when you grade up the road and put gravel there and then roll over it and put gravel there and roll over it, it rains and it does not create that puddle. You understand? They didn't do it. They did it that hurry.
But Anthony, apparently the way Anthony, you want to sound like an engineer on this whole thing.
My brother,
I know you to be an engineer, but network engineer. But the way you're talking about put gravel away, roadway, and then put another gravel away, roadway. Now you're trying to.
Let me get the reason why I know this. One,
Have you constructed a road before?
Credit to engineer, what it means, something told that in Sacramento, California. He's a civil engineer who works for the state of California in Sacramento. He has had multiple documentaries and multiple shows on different layers of roads and how the roads are constructed. And I watched all of those videos. All right? I'm not an engineer. I'm an engineer in the road construction. I'm an engineer in a different field, right? But I can tell you, that.
Okay, so you're a documentary engineer. A documentary
No.
engineer.
Don't say it that way. I just gave you a man who is still living. Something told out of Sacramento, California. It's a Liberian and somebody from the southeastern region from Toll Time. He's the one who been on a road on multiple occasions, have assessed the road, have given a lot of recommendations, even went to the real administration and get a proposal and demonstrated. You can go on a website, on Facebook, type something to, you'll find this video that shows differently. If the government don't have this money, they can do this, they can do that, they can do. He lays everything out. He is currently working as a civil engineer in the state of California, in the Sacramento section of California. So don't take my word for it. I gave you a person who always have a podcast, who talk about these things, who currently working as an engineer in this country for the state of California and has done extensive research and assessment on the roads in Liberia. So again, don't take my word for it. If they want to do something, they just have to do it right. You can't do a road that have not even lasted for 6 months yet. And we didn't even enter the real peak of the rainy season in Liberia, and look at the roads already. So, I mean, you have 22 million. Y'all say y'all have not spent the 22 million. I'm not arguing how much figure have been spent. At least you have the funding to get the job done. Get it done right. I'm in a few, get it done right the first time. Do it right the first time. You are not in no rush. Do it right the first time. I'm in a field that mistakes in certain area, it's not permissible. They will escort you out of the door in a heartbeat. And in this particular circumstance, nobody chasing JMB to say, if the road not complete tomorrow, don't come to work again. Take your time, get the road done once and for all, for a good start, until we can have, asphalt on the road, which is the quota or the cement, the concrete.
Thank you.
But don't plow the road and leave it like that. And then when it rains, all the puddles come out like that. Please, y'all do it right. You're not in no hurry. But I see hurry work here. Thank you.
Nelson, if I may.
At the point, I thought I was muted. But Freeman keep referring to you as a deacon. Are you a deacon, Anthony?
Yeah. I mean, the second time asking the question.
No,
I'm
going to ask.
I speak with passion. I'm a passionate speaker.
Our sister.
I speak with that conviction and that passion. And sometimes it comes up as though I'm preaching. But I don't preach.
So Nelson, my 30 seconds, please. My 30 seconds.
So
Nelson, I just sent to you. I just sent to you my payslip on 2012.
We actually want to make transition. 2012.
I didn't want to go to say I would send my email address or anything, but my payslip as a senior technical officer for infrastructure here in Australia,
but man,
for the local government. I just
wait. You
gotta show the agency you work for. Infrastructure, meanwhile.
I'm an agency.
What? No, if you work for government,
it
has to be a government agency. What a government agency you work for?
So, Josh, the pay slip, they get a salary, everything on it, right?
Yeah.
Or you call that
which government agency he works for?
Please cover it for me. Okay, no, Nelson.
Okay,
I'm not trying to prove anything to Raymond. Raymond already knows who I am.
Right.
I'm not going to prove anything to him. But if you want to,
you work for,
it's there on the page. Everything is there. Listen now, but let me talk.
You say you work for the government, and you know government functioning, the bureaucracy of government. Because what we're discussing bureaucracy in government.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing, right? I work for the Northern Territory government, right? And then I work for the city council government. Right? As a role.
I mean, I work for government. I did that too.
Is,
I think you're talking.
you know. This
You work for racket Liberian government. You want to compare yourself with my
brother.
Go work for American government. Go work for the American government. They know say you working.
To understand,
no, guys.
But you don't even know my network where the city of Philadelphia, but I won't say I work for government.
No, go and work there. Go and work there.
You know what I did with the city of Philadelphia?
The city of Darwin, I work for it.
You know what I did with the city of Philadelphia that you say go work for government?
You can't come here and tell me say where I work. You say I'm lying. Nelson, what would I
expect? That does not amount to working with government. You ain't got no.
Nelson.
You ain't getting no security.
Wait a minute, you work for government, I work for government business. All the government.
What we're talking about.
Nelson, can you please mute? Can you please mute the guy? Let me finish my 30 seconds. Please mute Zeze. Please mute Zeze.
Hey,
please mute Zeze.
Nobody get you 30 seconds. To understand government bureaucracy, you got to be somewhere in government administration where you know the functioning of government. Not to go, Jeb. That's not what they call government.
What? No, tell me now. What is it? Tell me, what is it to do what?
Brother,
you see, my man. You see, one of the things I don't
understand.
Nelson.
You started
Let me mute this guy. Let me talk now. Mute this man. Let me talk.
Now you to talk.
Nelson,
nobody gave you.
You know.
But nobody. Let me just make a point, right? When Anthony started speaking, I realized that.
But Nelson, mute the man too now. Mute the man.
When Anthony started speaking, I realized that Anthony was following a road engineer, unlike what George speak. Anthony spoke with a lot of technical information that George lacked in his expose.
Nelson, so you are giving Remo again another time to speak? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just speaking the truth. Any engineer listening to us, raw engineer from the sector, will understand that when Anthony spoke with some fights. He spoke to the issue. But Anthony, there was an emergency. When you said there wasn't an emergency, there was an emergency. There was a time emergency.
Nelson, so you are giving Remo again another time to be talking?
Okay, so guys, no, let's not do this.
We gotta put the conversation in context. You said there was no emergency. Yes, there was emergency.
I'm trying to get this stuff up. That's what I'm working on now. But the two engineers we have on the show are divided on political lines, and so because of the political the differences in political views, it's important. We will have to correct certain things. But George,
let me just tell you, engineering construction is a language that is fixed. You can't change.
We are pay step, and it's not coming on here.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me just say it right. In our audience, we have engineers. Engineering, construction is a language that doesn't change. Whether the Chinese man speaking it, a Japanese man speaking it, Korean man, it remains the same. It's a principal language. So whether me and George come from multiple political perspectives, it doesn't change our engineering language. It doesn't.
Yes, thank you. I want us to transition.
You're absolutely right.
So Nelson, let me give my 30 seconds. Let me say something quickly.
Yeah,
I'm not going to debate with Raymond. I'm not going to debate with Raymond. The thing is that
this is it, Josh. I really want us to transition because we are running out of time. That CDC issue will come and discuss that. And this is serious because
you laughing. You think you're not winning.
No, and how about you? That you come and start defending. I just laughing because you come and start defending.
No, I'm defending nothing. CDC got nothing to defend.
This is serious. And Mayor Jefferson Koji, who happens to be the Secretary General of the CDC, rose from being just ordinary man in the CDC through different ranks and files, through the ranks and file of the party. Now Secretary General of the CDC. He made a comment. They responded or reacted officially To wow, something is not coming through here. To what is happening now relative to the action that the government of Liberia is taking, the dismissal of 9 persons so far from this government on grounds that those people, some of them, have been in the habit of insulting the presidency. Now, I want to read what he wrote. I want to read the response because for some reason I can't get it. I can have. I'm not getting access to it to share it the way I want it. So let me read what he said. He said the move, the recent dismissal of the 9 persons, 9 employees of the Monrovia City Corporation is counterproductive to addressing the unemployment challenges that the country is faced with, and that the move undermines the fundamental pillar of the Black Eye campaign, the promises to rescue the country, and that in the midst of the lack of sufficient jobs in the country, when the government starts to dismiss folks who are already in the employ of government, according to him, that amounts to the government undermining her own fight against unemployment in the country. And he considered those individuals as innocent Liberians that are being dismissed, and that the CDC, contrary to what party is doing, that the CDC maintained some of the people who disagree with her, who disagree with the party in their government. He went on to name a few individuals. Warwick Bryant, who is the current superintendent of Montserrat County. He said Warwick Bryant, despite being a staunch supporter of the Unity Party, he worked as public relations officer in the employ of the MCC, despite being a Unity Party supporter. And went on to name a lot of other individuals who he said worked under the previous administration. Warwick Bryant, he mentioned one, Madam Asatu Dukley, the all supporters of the Unity Party, and he thinks that if the CDC maintained those individuals, if the CDC was able to keep those people there, their alignment or their affiliation with the Unity Party being a major opposition political party at the time, there should be no reason why this government will be in the business of dismissing people. He said there were times when the likes of Warwick Bryant would take onto the radio and talk about the ineptitude of the previous administration, his disagreement, what he didn't like that the previous administration was doing. But those people were still kept in government. But then the question tonight is, was he cherry picking or was he being real? Was he trying to play the regular politics, or was he speaking to the reality, what the reality is in the country, or what the reality was under the previous administration? The dismissal is something we've discussed. We've talked about that. We took a whole edition of that show to talk about that. The recent actions, you guys already know about that. But the response from the former mayor of the city of Monrovia today. Now, this is coming from the very person who occupied this position we're talking about. This is coming from the very individual who employed majority of those people under his watch as mayor of the city of Monrovia. Should we, what kind of what kind of Koji are we supposed to be seeing at this point? Are we supposed to see a Koji who will be telling the people, his supporters, the Sidicians, that look, at this point, if you have issue, go to the court, but there's a process, there's a way this thing works, and you cannot be there. So once you want to do the party thing, come join us. I'm the Secretary General. Y'all come back. Some of y'all, I don't want to carry you there. Y'all come back. Let's do the party work. I mean, let's start the conversation from here. Let's start with you, Moba, and then we can move to Josh, Raymond, and Anthony.
Yeah, thank you, Nursing. Look, you know, I think half of the folks in CDC, they are hypocrite. Majority of them, they are hypocrite. Look, how much we want to, I don't think the government will want to repeat what CDC did. But for Jefferson Koji to come on social media and discussing about which one, how they doing selective or whatsoever, and even the government to the city corporation. Yeah, he stayed there, but only they change the assignment. He went logistic, right?
Yeah, but he turned over today, city police director.
Yes, but he there. He was his assignment was changed. He was never fired. Now they got people in the Unity Party who support CDC, but they do it in a responsible way. They doing it in a sense that they're going up calling Joseph Baga mafia, how you will die soon. They will all take the government. You can't be working for government. You're making such a remark. You see some of those posts is very, 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 very bad. You can't degrade your leader like that and you're working within the same government. You can be critical. We don't say don't be critical. It's not the point. That's why people say, oh, the man want the freedom of speech. Nobody say don't be. You can be critical. You can say, oh, this government will make sure the government do the right thing. The government, so person corrupt in the government will talk it, say things, criticize the government. Tell the Liberian people where the government shot, what the government going down, what they need, what the improvement they need, what the government doing against the Liberian people. But you can't you look at president, he say he's a mafia, he will die soon. First of all, he say all kinds of things on Facebook. People who don't know, they say, no, let the man be there. You can't do that. In every entity, they get rules of law. Maybe the city corporation, the MCC know within themselves, within a handbook, you can make certain statement against the government. You don't know, I don't know, except the man who the man who working with the agency, the agency, he know, and he start the code in the letter. Like my man, you can just get on. You start making all type of remark on Facebook against the government. Then people want compare CDC and George Weah. Why would you compare? I mean, or CDC and United Party? Why would you compare that? You can't. Number one, when United Party were in power, when CDC were in power, they did a lot of things to Liberian people. Nowadays, people scared. People living in the street. 9 o'clock. Things are happening in that country. How many people they fire? Go look at the record. They fire a lot of people. Minipaga Party put in prison because he said he had a weapon. And I know he said something, I know that weapon, something they put in jail. That they got a call Moruba or Yogo. They fire Moruba Yogo because he said certain thing on Facebook. And not even close to the president. He's not even talking to the president. How much we want the city to happen, but in that case, your guys are wrong. You can come working within the same government and you saying things to the president and say freedom of speech. Nobody stepping on freedom of speech. They get people who are there saying things what they want to say, they work in the government, but they're going to threaten the president life. They're going to say things against the ethic, that handbook. They're not. But in Liberia, smart people do, they want to politicize it. They want to say, oh, they. In the people book, they get what they according to what they get at what maybe the only thing we must be arguing about is what due process. This would be our argument. Why they never get a people letter or warning letter or stop this. That's our argument. Our argument shouldn't be why the people say certain things and the government say and the government fire and why they got to insult the government. When you look at some of the posts on Facebook, you say what they got working in government and even throwing jobs and all of Liberians who suffer for the government to come in power and say y'all be there, they're useless government, we don't want enjoying it. We agree, say that one. Y'all will suffer. Y'all see your rescue team and you making all the jobs and you putting things on Facebook to make other people look like what they did in the past. I mean, what they did for the government, it was wrong. You can't do that.
It's okay, that. It's
So,
okay.
end of the day, our main concern, no, my man, your salary, and bring your talk, they will not even be a man, Anthony. Let me conclude. I get it. Yeah, but end of the day, how much we agree what happened from the past, it shouldn't be repeated. And we should also know that the people that the government fired, it was based on certain things they said on Facebook, and everybody saw it. Me, I saw it imposed on the group chat. You can't call your president mafia. You can't call you working there. I want to challenge anybody on the show here. Anybody who look at Joria and cause Joria and still be in power during Joria regime. The men that look at the men that sat whole even a Pope and say anybody that will cause the president not walk free on the street of Moravia. Then you talk about you causing you working in your government. Let us be real here. Then put on top of people can say what you want to say on freedom of speech. Yeah, where they are now they can go and for Koji behind me that are discussing because the matter about Koji, you are getting making free money. The country was tight and you will get a lot of gangster behind him, selling drugs, doing all type of things in our country. We know, but end of the day, the government in the power. At least some of the things the people working on it. The people try to eliminate some of those stuff. Thank you. Josh.
Look, thank you, Moba. Zeze, when you come on, I send you something on your Facebook Messenger. Just have a look at it and get back to me.
Why you
I know you don't believe what you're saying.
Australia.
Raymond like to be political, and one of the things that we shouldn't be doing here is to attack each other's how do you call it, professional abilities here. I think credential, exactly. Thank you. Credential, to attack each other credential, because it doesn't make any sense. You know me. I've worked with the United Nations. I came to Australia. I worked with the Northern Territory government. Then I work for my man. No. But my point I'm making, I will come to the point. And then I work with the local government again. Yes, you do it. I have business. But here's the thing, Anthony. The thing is that I'm so ashamed, right, to listen to people like Morba and the other people who are defending this action. For Mr. Joker, who they call Josiah Joker, when he can just go on have a news conference and then recommend the dismissal of people and summarily they dismiss those people without due process whatsoever, I think it's a shame. And I think those who are supporting that action, they are just as gullible as the people who will be led with their eyes shut and think they are being, treated nicely. It's so ridiculous. Why our friends are trying to, yesterday, this was bad. You dismissed somebody because they said something against the government. It was bad. Today, it's good because you hate the person who is being dismissed or the person is not on the same team as you. So it is good. And that is the reason why we continue to retrogress as a nation. Because people will always turn a blind eye to the reality of what is happening. Look, I always say to myself, I pray to God every day that my eating bowl will not be in anybody's house, that I will praise them for killing my mom. And that's what's happening. Some people, even some of our brothers who even live abroad, who live in America, who are not waiting for hand out from Liberia, they still praise this government because they want fame. They want to be liked by the audience. They want to get praises from our commenters. I don't want that. That does not constitute who I am. I'm better than that. You can disagree. I will disagree with you. But I will say what is true. Look, these people must be reinstated. Joker has no power to go on the air and recommend the dismissal of anybody and summarize that person is dismissed. There should be due process. The people should be given their time to give reason why they did what they did, and if it is against certain stature in their handbook, that say this is tantamount to dismissal, then of course we will allow that to go. But he cannot go on the air and ask for the dismissal of 9 people and they be dismissed the same day. And then we say we have a country of law. That is not so. So I'm ashamed to even want to, to delve into this conversation, because if I look around, I find out that in my country where I am, people are in this government that are criticizing the government. In this Australian government, people are there who are opposition. They are working there. They are criticizing the government. For being Australian government, the politics, I don't have anything to do with it, because it's even boring. Because any prime minister that comes there, my job still secure. My life doesn't go up. Nothing happens. So I don't have any reason to even vote. Even yeah, they fined me last time. I did not vote. They fined me $20. I had to go and pay that because I did not vote. So for people to be in Liberia and continue to want to back what is wrong only because it's good for their side, it's a shame. These people spoke their mind. They did not insult no president. Josiah Joker does not have the right to determine. He cannot be the referee and the player at the same time. He cannot decide what is bad for anybody who does not work under him. Let me tell you, the people that sang the song, Joe Wiago, they were civil servants. President Wiaku could have woken up one day and say, "You're fired," all of them. He did not do that. They sang that song in parliament at the legislature. Joe Wiago, that famous song. That's why it was sung. Retire Joe Wiago, he kept them. Because those people are civil servants. You cannot dismiss a civil servant, summarily because he says something against the government. Those same people, they vote for the government. Liberian people vote for their government. So if I vote for my government and I get in government, I cannot criticize the government because I'm working in the government. That government works for me as a person. So those people, they are working in government, but that government has to work for them as well. So we cannot sit here and say, you're working for government, you can put on ego arm. Ego is not doing me any favor. President Bwaka look for job. He begged the Liberian people to give you employment. We gave him the employment. So we don't work for him. He works for us. We can tell him how to govern us. And if we don't like it, we can change him. So he cannot tell you, say, you're working on an ego. He's not doing a favor for us. We are paying him. And that's why he's now having lavish parties around the town, around the city, that he never had previous show. He was living on loan. We give him employment. So don't tell me, say he's doing us a favor. He's not doing us a favor. He's working for us. We the Liberian people. You guys need to stop listening by telling say you can be working for the government. Let me tell you, the government of Liberia stays, even when Bwaka go and George Weah goes. The government stays. We work for the government. Those guys work for the government. They don't work for Bwaka. So you guys need to get it straight. It's ridiculous the way you guys think about things and don't put things to contest and you go come here and say you can be under the ego arm and then say the ego arm thing, the ego throw you down. We're not on Bwaka's arm. Bwaka is on our arm because we gave him employment. Thank you, Nelson. I don't want to go that further again.
While you were making your points, I got this and I want to put it up. Is the government divided on this particular action? I know a lot of you saw the post that was made by Senator DeLong. The post that was made by Senator DeLong. I know a lot of you watched that let's say saw that particular post. And the senator is asking a question. In this write-up, he's kicking against this particular.
I can't see it. Can you put it up, please?
And I don't know how I did my computer setting or whatever, but for some reason, when I download stuff, I don't get to see it in the particular space.
So Nelson, just speak about it so that time don't run now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
you can just read it and we'll take care of this.
Now I got it. I got it. So let me put this post up here from Senator DeLong. This is what one of the rescue senators is writing. And this senator is so close, and I mean very close to the CSA boss. They are friends. Matter of fact, they work in this government. They work in this administration. We won't go a goal to see Liberia do better. But this is what the senator is writing on his page. The minute after those guys are dismissed and they're taken onto the social media, then comes in Senator Dillon. The CS Civil Service Agency recommending dismissal in court of civil servants for voicing out their grievance or for voicing out on governance issues. Wrong move. Carry the exclamation. Should not be encouraged. So, what are we seeing here, guys? And again, the person who's making this post is not just any ordinary person. There's someone who wakes up and maybe while session is going on, he decides, he said, "Gentlemen, I'm coming back. I'm going to see the president." He crosses the road from the Capitol building, goes to the executive mansion. I mean, he has access to the presidency. And he was one of the frontliners, one of the persons who fought tirelessly to see to it that this government comes to power. But now he's kicking against this. We don't need any other person to come up to interpret what the senator wrote. He is saying in short that the CSA boss should not in the first place be recommending the dismissal of another civil servant. And in the second point he's making here is that, especially for raising issues, for voicing their concerns on governance issues, were those individuals dismissed for raising their voices on governance issues? We put the letter up the other day. They said for insulting the president. When someone insults the president and someone raises their voice on governance issues, is there any difference between the two? Or are we missing out on something here? Raymond, I want to give you the time to take on from here.
Let me begin by saying the senator is entitled to his opinion, but his opinion on this subject matter is as elementary as ABC. The senator cannot be hired by any serious entity as an HR manager. He does not have that expertise. So he spoke out of not even a rookie level understanding on the subject matter. He spoke like an ordinary person, but he's entitled to his opinion. And besides, he's a politician. They will want to say things to make them more famous.
This is Senator Dillon you're talking about, Raymond.
Yeah, but I'm speaking first about the issue. Senator Dillon can pass a 100 level HR examination. He got it. Mm-hmm. So he shouldn't talk to the issue like he know what he's talking. He's talking like any other Liberian voice in that thing. You know, like the ordinary person talking in the market about the issue. They ain't got no expertise. The senator ain't got no expertise on HR issue. He don't even know what his civil service standing order have to say about that. He can't quote all to you. But unlike Joker, which is the tools he used to work with, he's an HR expert. This is someone who has expertise in this field. So that he and Senator Dillon, they're not met to discuss this subject matter. That's Senator Dillon's opinion. But he got no expertise in this. He got no, they're not a cup of tea. He got no expertise in this subject matter to discuss it and speak with such an authority. No, he doesn't have it. And the issue of the matter here is about misconduct. It's not about insulting the president as my brother Malva presented it. No, it's not about presidency. Look, as a civil servant, you cannot even insult another citizen. You cannot even insult another subordinate. You cannot insult your colleague. You cannot insult your superior. So whether the president or not, the conduct is just not fit for service. And that's why they got dismissed. And one of them was even calling the president criminal on one of his posts. That's an insult. That's not just the president Walker, that's the presidency of the Republic of Liberia. So it doesn't matter whether it's President Walker. He could not even call his colleague on the job, somebody that he sits in the same office next desk to, a criminal, and you think he will retain his position? No. Not even a subordinate or sweeper at a job. You can call them a criminal and think you will maintain your job? No. So when Koji then talking, they just bad messenger. This is someone who has an indictment on him for human rights abuse. And you won't gonna talk about good governance issue? Bro, you don't have it in you. You got no platform to stand upon to utter words about good governance. Because you're not a good citizen. You've committed human rights abuses. You should be in jail. You should be accounting for your atrocity carried out. You're not free citizen. You shouldn't be a free citizen like us to discuss these things. Leave that with us who don't commit crime. Leave that with us who are law-abiding. Leave that with us who are good citizens, who care about the upliftment of the nation and the state. And this is what I want to tell every Liberian. Job is not to create salary. But all of us in Liberia, that's what we see. Job is to provide service. You get paid for the services you provide. And if the services you provide are not good enough, you cannot retain a job. If you do not have it in you to work in that environment, produce the services that should be provided, you should not be in that environment. And the former mayor argument was about job provision. This is not an issue about job provision. They had a job, but they couldn't retain their job. The output on the job was just not right enough. It wasn't fit for the service. So they had to go. There's civil service standing order. Every civil servant must abide to every guidelines within that standing order. You cannot pick and choose which one to do and which. And the Constitution says freedom of speech. It says every person is entitled, but are responsible for the abuse thereof. It doesn't mean that when you're free to speak, you can say anything. No. You will say something that a police officer right there that will put a handcuff on your hand and say you're under arrest. That's your freedom of speech, yeah. But you cross the line. And freedom of speech means nobody will put stuff on your mouth. But after you utter all the utterances, you will be a call for. We saw it in the past government, even more illegal, even call out the police station for Facebook posts. We saw people got dismissed from government. There was one famous story of the girl at the Ministry of Gender. And the same acts in the civil service standing order were cited and they got dismissed. But these guys got a recourse under the law. So anyone who thinks that they were wrongfully dismissed, start raising money for them and let them take the issue to the court. And they can defend themselves before the law.
Thank you, Raymond. Anthony.
I want to say thank you that I have the opportunity tonight to discuss this matter. I want to respectfully disagree with my dear brother Raymond. Human Resources Director General. First of all, let's look at the word human resources. First and foremost, right? You are there for the employees. You are there for the employees. And I want to challenge anyone on this platform. What was posted had no imminent threats to the life and property of the president and the presidency. Secondly, there was no law violated. I heard my dear brother Raymond quoting that Josiah Joquette, Director Josiah Joquette, is an expert. Well, this expert executed something that showed a rookie performance. He cited a law, Section 6.2 of the Code of Conduct, that has absolutely zero with the gentleman posting on Facebook. I said again earlier, if you want to do something, do it right. I'm not a lawyer, but there is a famous saying in law, what is not done legally, it's not done at all, right? Again, we can put a spin on it whatever way. If you put a lipstick on a pig, it's a pig. It's not going to change. What was done by the CSA boss was unlawfully done. He overstepped his boundaries. He got too excited with his role and created a mayhem for this administration. He went on to say in his letter that these guys are a threat to the life of the president. That in itself is a treason. These guys should not be walking free. Why are they not arrested? Now he put their life in jeopardy by citing that they threatening the life of the president of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, we are Africans, and we know everyone who threatens the life of the president does not live a day to defend themselves. Nelson, let's put politics aside. I am a bona fide member of the Alternative National of the
It is anyway you call it because you know it. They know it's sedition.
Yeah, man, my throat getting dry. Right? I'm telling you, man. But
Just finish carry you.
right?
Just
No. Let me give you the reason why.
Just finish carry, man.
My brother.
No, man, come on. I'm speaking my throat.
No,
I gotta get one
I would tell the folks the reason. You wanted to say I'm a bona fide member of the
CDC.
Like
you know, but
everybody tell me my age. Man, you can always. This is not fair. After the show, watch this show. This is not fair. You're always interrupting, right? So, I'm a member of ANC, and I'm a bona fide member. All right?
And I affiliate of the CDC.
No. CDC has no standing to even criticize. Jefferson Koji is a wrong messenger for this brilliant message out there. I'm to be a spokesperson of the CDC. They had an opportunity, they blew it. And it's the same path we are trying this administration. They continue to make CDC relevant. When Unity Party, you came to office, you've been in office for 12 years. You were in opposition for 6 years. What you should have done was some of the mistakes that you made along those 12 years, you're supposed to correct them in the 6 years you're in recess. And hit the ground running. But look at how you're performing. Everybody wants to appease the president, want to impress the president. They all money haters catcher. No hair, no tape. If this guy is an expert, why is he citing the wrong law? Because there is no law that was broken. The Freedom of Speech Act that was passed under George Weah, the advanced stuff, decriminalizes free speech. The only time you can be held accountable for your free speech if you threaten the life of a person. If I say I'm going to kill this person and I verbally say it, I can get arrested. All right? If my action poses an imminent threat to life and property of somebody, I can get arrested. But the man expresses frustration. And I check this particular case, they will win it if they go to court. Because Josiah Joker even said, everything I'm doing, the president is in the know. President Waka, please, disassociate yourself with that particular statement, yeah, Pape? Please, yeah? Because this young man is so excited, he wants to please you. He's so excited. He had good intention. He loved the country, but he did not make it, man. He didn't make it.
So, Anthony, why do you think Senator DeLong, a very strong supporter of the rescue mission, is making this kind of post in the midst of what is seen to be a very good action taken by the CSA boss, something that is going to play out in the interest of this administration? Why do you think Senator DeLong is making such a post at this time?
Hate DeLong, love DeLong, the politician. He When Mandela came into office, all of the folks that were supporting him were like, kick that person away, put this person to jail, do that thing to the other people. Now see, now they say you in Liberia, you live it every day. The country is divided. Let us not sit on this platform and pretend. The only thing that we need today now is a unifier, a person who will bring us together, whether we like it or not. That's what we need right now. This trend, going to every ministry, firing people left and right and doing other. First of all, if you want to rescue a nation, provide job opportunity to the people, provide other the vocational training center, you took drug tests, take the children, at least show the first 50 or 150 people who got off drug, they are addicts, they're going through rehab. None of this thing happening. Then on top of that, you bring in serious division. If these people who have done the wrong thing, Nelson, I will not put my reputation on the line. I have a political ambition, bro. I won't come here on camera and say, oh, the man did the wrong thing. No, because I know this video tonight, what I'm saying will be played tomorrow. The same way they play Josiah Joker video now. They will play my video. Let's be honest here. I am a Liberian citizen first before a political party. My nationality in my passport said Liberian. It didn't say ANC. So this particular situation here, Josiah Joker put Pape Boaka, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka, in the top spot. Disassociate yourself with this gentleman. He's going to ruin your administration.
Thank you, Anthony. Thanks a lot.
Today, Anthony talk for 10 minutes. Nobody.
The man happy. The man happy. So Nelson, just let me 30 seconds, please.
We want to go to the phone line, but just take 30 seconds.
Do my 30 seconds so I can leave, my man.
Okay, so let's take Josh, and then after Josh, you come in.
All right.
So Nelson, the thing is simple. I heard my brother Raymond going on and on about the man get no human HR and training. He can't do this, he can't do that. I just, it baffles me how we argue on this platform, because the thing is that HR does not go looking for issues. People complain to HR conduct investigation, and then a finding is brought, and then the remedy comes, whether firing or warning or everything comes. HR doesn't go around looking for who wrote what. You getting me? So I'm really wondering whether President Boaka went to Joker and said, my man, your children costing me. He had to post and everything here. So let's do investigation. You see, the thing is that Joker is so zealous. Those are the type of people they can do things that they shouldn't be doing. They got no business doing only because they want to defend the president. And that's what Joker is. He sounds more like a zealot. Those people who can throw people Jesse or throw people boots. It's ridiculous. And I hope my brother Raymond is ashamed by making that type of comment.
Boba, take your 30 seconds.
Yeah. Take it, Nelson, and take it to our listener. Look, we will go up with kind of nursing. For me, I will tell you this today, tomorrow, and forever. Every job, you got rules and regulations, you got job ethic. You can the president got nothing to do with those guys. The president got nothing to do with people Joker firing those guys. He got nothing to do with it. He don't care about it. But they hold on the job ethic. It's not on freedom of speech or maybe something that is not even related to the government. But the job is hold them on the job ethic. I dare you, Josh, we all sitting here. You can go to your job today and you just go. Even the people that are working in the parliament in the country that are working with the government, you just go in your office one day and they start making all type of sarcastic remark on Facebook. Then your boss see it. You think they will allow you? You think you'll be there? No, they will fire you. You know why? Or maybe they will call, or maybe they will give you warning. But my point here I'm making tonight is who also be on the same side by saying what the Ghanaian did was not right. And secondly, the HR should have given them a warning letter. That should be our argument. But Anthony, you can't move from here.
You can't get warning when the man threatening the president. How you get warning?
No matter what, they do due process. That did that one. That due process, Anthony. Anthony, they play work here, not to your job. You can't go there today and just go make all kinds of remark to your job because it's not government job or private job. So we
First
don't
of all,
encourage
my
this.
job has social media policy. Do we have social media policy with the MCC?
That's why you don't know. That's why you don't know. So we
So
shouldn't come
Nelson,
here. So our argument has to be
thank
there
you
was no
guys.
due process.
We are time
That's
pressed.
it.
We are time.
but
Thank you,
that's that due process not even argument because HR policy do not always say there must be due process. Based on the gravity, you can be fired instantly. So that thing not argument either.
Okay, so thank you guys. We have to go to the phone lines now. 0 Let me put the WhatsApp number up. You can call as well and make your input on the conversation tonight via WhatsApp. The number I'm putting up is only for WhatsApp. If you want to call the local line, if you want to place a direct call, then you call 0 So this is the WhatsApp number. Let's see if we can take a few calls now, and then we'll come back to do our closing tonight on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Thanks to all of you thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thanks to every single person. Let's see if we can go to the phone lines now and take some calls. Let's start with this person. Hello. Hello. Okay, so I need to make adjustment here. Let's hope we can make this adjustment. Okay, hello. You're live. Your name and where you calling from? You want to contribute to the conversation?
Hello, my name is Freeman. I am calling. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, we okay.
I wanted to know, did they get warnings?
There wasn't any warning given to those individuals, given the nature of what they did. The CSA, the management saw it as a threat to on the life of the president, so the action was taken.
Okay, then. So we should have some decorum and we should have some order in our places of public service because it's necessary for us going forward. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. We appreciate your contribution tonight. On the show, let's take another person. 0 or you can call on the WhatsApp there on the screen, and then you can be live. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello. Oh, we lost this person. Let's see if we can come back here and talk to another person from this end. Okay, so let's see if we can get this person coming through. But better still, you can keep your calls coming through the direct numbers. You can keep your calls coming through that end, and let's see if we can get this one coming through. Wow, it's not working. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening here with this. So let's see if we can get another call. Wow, and the two gadgets are connected, so it causes some. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, hello, Nelson. My name is William. I call from Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay, William, go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for the show tonight. But sometimes I want to tell Joy something. Sometimes not everything we should put it inside. Sometimes what happened in the Western world, it will not happen in Liberia as easy as we think. So for the police driver license, they got license were not even valid, or it was expired. So the difference between expired and invalid, I don't think is the same. And when it comes to Josiah Joker, Josiah Joker is overruling his power. No United Party is happy of that decision he made. And according on President Boakai to look into it to reinstate those people right back to their job. It's not right. They need to warn those people. They are all citizens. They walk in the dirty water. Jefferson Koji then punish them in the place. They decide to punish them. So they can't be punished in their own government. I beg you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's so we can take the last caller here and just come back to do our closing. We are a little bit pressed for time. Let's see if we can end up in time. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello. Okay, so we lost that person again. I have a little issue here with the whole cost thing. So we'll have to hold it at that and see if we can end up here. Let me see this. Okay, so we can come back to do our closing, guys, and let's hope we can start with you, Anthony, then Raymond, and then Josh will take us home.
Well, Raymond, you want to be the ladder? Why you disappear? You better come back here. Hey, man, first of all, I want to correct something I said earlier from our first statement that I made. I mentioned that having a expired driver license is not a crime. I want to say it's not criminal, right? It is a crime, but it's not criminal crime. That's what I wanted to say. So I want to correct that. All right, guys, listen. First and foremost, for me, I'm a Liberian. I have a nationalistic approach to Liberia. It doesn't matter who is the president of the Republic of Liberia, as long as that person is putting in place policies, initiatives that will benefit every Liberian citizen, I'm for it. I'm not hoping that this administration fails. If this administration fails, look, some of the things I want to do, it will take me a long time to get there. If this administration succeed, it will take the next administration an easier route to go about. Who wants to get big in a country where every time you're feeling, look, some of my friends and I that went to school together, they look so old, so pale in the face. Oh my God, because of poverty. I am not happy for that. Sometimes I want to sleep, man. I'm tired answering phone calls. I want them to have an opportunity. Even if they will be better than me, so be it. Nothing. We have to come to the place now so we can stop politics and work in the interest of the Liberian people. That's what I frown on our $11.8 million giving the lawmaker. That's what I frown on, this government not doing the right thing. Listen, people will make mistakes. It is inevitable as a human being without making mistakes. To err is human. But here's the thing. Focus on something that you can handle and do it right. This administration is making too many mistakes. And people who have worked in government for this length of time, I'm not saying they will not make mistakes. There will be hiccup here and there. But here's the thing. When a team is winning, the other flaws of that team, you don't see it. But when a team is losing games, everybody want to be the coach on that team. Everybody want to be the assistant coach on that team. Everybody want to be the special trainer on that team. Everybody want to be the athletic trainer, the nutritionalist on that team. And that is what's happening with this administration. Focus on something you know you can do good and start doing it. The rest will follow. It will have a domino effect. I know there are competing priorities, the buzzword, right? Grain tech. But if you say we will tackle agriculture, you better tackle it and do it right. If you say we'll tackle electricity, tackle it and do it right. If you say we're going to tackle healthcare, tackle it and do it right. We got the best and the brightest of minds. Liberians are smart, folks. We go to school and work, folks. I work with them every day. These bugger ones, something happen, they go crazy. They don't even know how to focus and gather themselves. They will be pushing wall, knocking things, blah, blah, blah. They'll do all that kind of thing. Somehow, the other guy look at me one day and say, it doesn't bother you if things not working. I said, me yelling, screaming, what are you going to do? The parents there before me. I got to concentrate. and get it done. You will have challenges. It is inevitable to run an administration without challenges. But here's what you do as a leader. Where you fall, you found resolution, you correct it. You fall here, you found resolution, you correct. You can't continuously make mistakes like this, back to back to back to back to back. We've already gone 6 months and 6 months of problem. From day one, we almost lost this president. So we cannot continue this path, folks. I hope
thank you, Anthony. I want to hold you there.
Those of you who have the privileges now to work with this administration, do your due diligence. Stop moving the old man back and forth. Back. Everything the puppet have to go dedicated every time. No. Look, I'm in my 40s. Some days when I wake up, my knees are aching, bro. It's not an easy thing. Imagine the man in his 80s.
Thank you, Anthony.
Y'all do the right thing, folks. We wish you the best. Thanks for having me.
I want to squeeze in one of our followers. He's been on the line for some time, so let me just squeeze him quickly, and then we can bring Raymond. Please go ahead, sir. You're live on the show.
Yeah, Raymond and Leslie Nelson and to the panelists. I wanted to quickly address 2 things about the video about the police director. Under the Liberian Law, Chapter 17, the Liberian Chapter 17 and Section 17.70, driving without driving license, whether your driving license is expired, is considered non-enforceable. You don't have driving license. It's a criminal offense under the Liberian Penal Code. So I wanted to correct that one. You cannot, as a police IG, you cannot arrest one police officer, one president, and the person license is expired. Just consider that person have no driving license. So in any country, you don't need to drive that car again. The car stays there. Either they found tow truck or somebody with a valid driving license drive that car. So it was a big error on the police director part. The laws are there, Chapter 17, under the Liberian Penal Code, 17.70. Then let's come to the dismissal. I hear my brother Roman trying to hold a sitting senator who he considered not knowing nothing about HR. But this is the same senator that on the confirmation team of every government official that was appointed by the president to confirm that person to work in an entity. And you're talking about Senator DeLong. So, you know, the subject verb agreement is so sweet in my brother Raymond Maltia. He don't know the reality of issues. So you see, under the code of conduct in the public, in the freedom of speech, what the civil servant boss did was wrong. That's your ex-manager, which is the Abraham Maslow theory, who just jump on one day and fire everybody. So when you're talking about HR, more especially human resource management, you have the theory X and the theory Y. You think why Dr. McGregor come and said, no, you have to talk to your employees so they will be working at pace to say they are playing to like the job. So all of the two topic you discussed is very unprofessional, and I heard he trying to be political. It's very unprofessional. The laws are there. You see, you cannot bypass the law. The law is a law. So you cannot dismiss somebody when in the library you dismiss a civil servant for expressing negative opinion about certain government who could potentially violate the constitutional right of those people of that freedom of speech. And you cannot use the word threat if the people threatening the president, like which is above his jurisdiction as a civil servant and head. That one should be handled by the NSA or the justice arm or the security. He is not coupled with that authority to dismiss. And even as that, the security apparatus will write him to suspend people for time indefinite while investigation are planning to come up with funding, not to come up and dismiss. Well, that's his wish on. Thank you for the time, Nelson. I know you just squeezed me in.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for making your contribution tonight. I was trying to get something.
Yeah, he made a second point. I looked up the chapter 17 before coming on, but I forgot on my train of thought. He's right. I read it.
Okay, 17.74 of the Penal Code
Yep, 17.74 of the Penal Code of Liberia. You can find it on Google. You get a PDF document right there.
Yeah. So, are you still on the line, sir?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Okay. So, I just want to get something coming through here. It's a good thing that Raymond is coming right after you. He's gonna get the time to, um, you know, speak to some of the issues you said. But I just want to get the 17.7 there, right?
Okay, it's even a misdemeanor, which occur is a second degree crime. So when you are driving, when you are having a driving license and carry on a traffic violation, that is an offense. That is a serious offense, which means it's an infraction. But driving without a driving license becomes criminal.
The law even stronger in
every
here.
country. Only international. Say again.
I said the law is stronger in Liberia on the driver license thing than here. Here they will not take your car from you when your driver license expired. Unless if you don't have insurance, then they will impound your car. Your plate expire, your registration expire, the police will let you go. But once you do not have insurance, your vehicle will be impounded right in there. You cannot drive that car.
You can be going with
but Liberia is no stronger on that particular issue than here.
Let me tell you something, Nelson. I was trained by United Nations as a chief of staff for the Liberian National Police and later worked for the Liberian Civil Police for a good couple of years. So those are things I'm speaking from. I'm a professional policeman I'm a policeman by professional. I may not be a policeman in capacity. So all of those laws that we are quoting is wrong. Driving without a driving license is a criminal offense. It's not an infraction.
So now it's a great thing. You being a police officer by profession, what's your take on the action of the IG?
Number one thing in Liberia, the security sector is playing. You as a police officer or any security person, you have to always be careful with the camera what you bring on camera. Because when you don't have all of the premium facet, you are just enforcing the law. But the justice system, the court is the one. So that when you're taking Nelson, when you're taking Anthony to court, you have to come with all of the evidence for it to be measurable in court. Otherwise, the person will not be charged. That's why you see Liberia versus Yeke Koruba, Liberia versus George. If the police don't have enough evidence, that's why people walk away free, because the police never had enough evidence. So I think it was a showmanship for the IG for people to know that he's working, but what he did was very unprofessional. That's the first thing. And the jargon that he even used on camera was not professional. As a police, then we are talking about dismissal. He was talking about, I don't need to repeat what he said. That was very unprofessional as a police.
So let's do this. Let's do this. 7.7 obstructing highways and other public passage.
17.70.
Oh, 17.70.
Yes.
You know, because,
chapter 17.
Yeah, it's very important. Chapter 17.70.
Yes, 70.
Okay, guys, I want you to bear with me a little.
Thank you for dealing with it. Remind with it, Sabu here.
17. But what I have before me here stops at 17.11, which is possession. Possession is still a physical object for later use. Are you talking about the penal law of Liberia?
I'm not talking about the penal law. A policeman doesn't deal with the constitution to take somebody. Every police officer has to operate with the penal code.
The point I'm making is the penal law does not have the 17.70.
Let me send it to you. Let me send it to the comment section.
Which year? Which year? What I have before me here is the the 1970 and
Yeah, you can read through it.
Code,
you can read through
Penal
it.
Law of Liberia.
The revidence section. Go to the revidence section of the Penal Code. 17.70.
Yeah, but we appreciate you a whole lot for coming on tonight, sir, and thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, so Raymond, you want to go ahead and then?
Yeah, so I want to disagree with my brother. Every institution have guidelines for employees. This doesn't have to do with the freedom of speech, as he mentioned, and that's his opinion. He's entitled to it, and I don't think he claimed to be an HR expert. And Josiah is, Jacket is. So sometimes it's good for us to have an opinion, but when we stamp a fight and an authority on our opinion when we haven't earned it, it's just not right intellectual wise. So I just want to let him know, as much as he has his opinion, that doesn't make it right.
Thank you.
We all do, and we all get wrong sometimes. Yep. I got to do my closing. No closing for me, Nelson.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, like closing, you doing
no
now.
closing for you, my man. Go home.
No, like closing, you doing now, Chief.
Yeah, so that my closing I'm doing. So I mean, that's why we're here to disagree and agree until we find. But what I want us Liberians to do, they are subject matter experts. But we have become a people who do not respect the authority of anybody. So we disagree with everybody about everything without having no basics for our disagreement. Our perception, how we feel, our sentiments is our guiding principle. No. In the real world, there are people who take up time and they learn certain things and they work in that field and they gain experience. So when we need advice on those things, we go to those people. And when they speak to those things, we listen. That's why we all go to school. We listen to instructor, lecturers who have taken time and have learned in that field of area and they impart knowledge to us. But when we know it all, we'll never receive from anybody. And that's what we've become in Liberia, a group of confused people debating everything, arguing everything, agreeing with nothing. And until we learn to allow those who have authority in a specific area to lead us, we're leading ourselves to chaos. Look, I am not an IT person. When I have IT issues, I go to an IT person for guidance. I'm not a security person. My brother who spoke here, when he spoke, I can challenge what he said until I can verify it. I will take his words, even though I will not take it as the Bible. I will not argue him where I know basics. What basics? I got no first knowledge on police and security. So I'm not going to argue him. He could be right, he could be wrong. But I'm not going to debate with him. You right? So Josiah Joker is the government HR person. As a matter of fact, he has a civil service agency. He can dismiss, he can hire. He have that authority. My brother said he doesn't have it. So I don't know where my brother grabbed that from, but I work as a civil servant for a while. So I know the civil service has it. When I got employed in government, I had to go to civil service to regularize my employment. One time I went to Japan. I was in school. Before I went to Japan, the scholarship session, I had my file from the HR area. When they came to do verification, they couldn't find my file. I was ghost. All the time I was in Japan, I never got paid my Liberian salary. I got to come back. Then the HR, for them to have written me, to email all my documents to them to verify, I had to go back to civil service to in person provide all my credentials and verify that I was employed and I'm a person and I'm alive, and give my credentials from Japan before I got reinstated in government. That's the authority of civil service, and I never even got my back payment. That was doing President Ellen tenure.
Now let me just read.
Nothing. Can you correct what Raymond said? Because the man was speaking to the fact that they said they were threat to the president. At that point,
that's not what they said. He misquoted them. Nobody ever said it was threat to the president. He misquoted them. No. He said insulted.
I want us to take a look at this.
Consistently insulted. That's what he said.
No, this is not what I'm
okay. What is this?
But how come? This is Josh.
That's my pay slip. That's my pay slip there from 2012.
No, this is not what I actually wanted to put up.
I sent it to Raymond. Boy, you don't want to acknowledge it. They got
But man, I challenge you, man. You said I challenge you.
No, I just want to begin, my man. When you're language in Liberia or you're working with the government, so you can know.
Guys,
I have big glasses that on your face.
When you are working for the United Nations, my pay grade was higher than yours.
You lie. How about you lie?
No, not true. I was far higher than you. That's the first chapter to transport me. Chapter to transport Raymond.
That's
I
not
work for the United Nations. I could request a chapter for my trip.
Is not
I don't think
what our audience.
Nelson, the Matano talk.
No, not yet. I want to put this up there.
I can post my way too now. Yeah, man.
No, Raymond let to challenge people credential for no reason whatsoever.
It's about experience. Bureaucracy, government bureaucracy. If you had it, you wouldn't talk the way you talk. It's about experience.
Come on, that's not true. That's not true, and you know that. That's not true.
All the things you said shows that you have zero.
I don't see no ethical rules that were broken here.
I'm well versed with bureaucracy.
Insult, right? No one, irrespective of where you work, insult is not a language.
What was the insult?
Someone a criminal. You know what profanities are? You know what insults are? Go use Google.
They did not break any law.
No law whatsoever. Raymond, stop this thing, man.
This is the reason why you're having a problem, right?
Nelson, let me take my time and put it behind.
Your workmate a criminal. I say I challenge you to go to work tomorrow and call your workmate a criminal and see whether you routine your.
You see what he's saying here? He comparing apple
and oranges. Exactly.
So let me just read something out here.
And Nelson, it's time for me to turn on. I think you bring your paper, then to show them.
No, I'm coming. Thanks.
When you say
guys, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Let me just read this document, right? Let me just read this. This is the Civil Service Code of Conduct. And I want to read something here real quick.
Criticize George Weah and still work in George Weah government. Refuse to recognize George Weah as a president.
Anthony, you are seriously hijacking the show.
I'm sorry.
You can follow by insult George Weah and Baka made your best friend.
Criticism and insult are not the same.
I don't think Mr. Cummings appreciate what you're doing here tonight, Anthony.
No, man, don't do that. Don't do that, man.
He doesn't. Mr. Cummings doesn't appreciate what you.
My man.
No, because when you come on the show, you are a representation of.
Now he like a R7. When Mr. Cummings name is mentioned, then I hold it ground.
I never said that.
He said, "Don't call it my leader name because you did wrong." You gotta be a man and have your power.
My man, look, you man, you left the gaslight, but man.
Nelson, my man, I got to close on.
Okay, so
Raymond is like that. Don't mind Raymond.
Let me just reassess.
Raymond just jealous because I get hair on my head, and I get hair on his head.
Discipline, right? All right, discipline. It's a public servant.
You know when you get
let's do this, guys. It says a public servant shall adhere strictly to the rules and procedures of the civil service. This code of conduct or any other laws of or policy shall also ensure that her or his subordinates do the same. Public servants shall obey all lawful instructions issued to them by their superiors. Now I want to come to where it talks about professionalism. A public servant shall adhere to the professional code of conduct within his ministry or agency, demonstrate a high degree of competence required by his or her given profession. Now, and then the one, when it comes to loyalty, it says a public servant shall be faithful to the people and the government of Liberia and be supportive of government's policies, plans, and programs. He or she shall show respect for constituted authority and the country at large
Right.
at all times and perform his or her duties in the most cautious, efficient, and effective manner.
So what
The
Josiah Joker
general
did not
war is
cite this
called
law and
professional
cited 6.2.
ethics and public servant. They don't have
I
to
said,
cite
why
it.
Josiah
It's,
Joker never cited this particular
it's
portion and he
implied.
cited 6.2 of the code of conduct.
It's implied.
No, but again,
Because
guys,
It's implied where?
it's implied when
we
you're
have,
server
we,
7. That's
No,
why,
we have
you
to
know,
wrap up.
when we had a conversation, I asked my brother
Your
whether he
man
ever
had
been a...
time to, he used
Brother,
a
that's
law
not
that
true.
does not apply.
That's not true. That's not true. So,
6.2. What does 6.2 have to do with what a man did?
I mean,
Thank you,
you
guys.
can
I
add or
think we have
steal
to
whatever
go.
you want, but that's not how it
But
works.
George, you
6.2
can do
does
your
not
closing.
apply.
George, you
Brother,
can do
I'm
your
not here to
closing.
Mute these
debate
guys.
another
Mute
one.
these two guys.
I'm here
Mute
to
these two guys.
debate
Let me
that.
talk quick.
George, you can do your closing. Then we'll go.
Yeah. So look, gentlemen,
Do closing,
we can all be political on the show and talk about, to defend and do whatever we want to do. But the truth remains the truth. You can bend it how you want, but the truth is a stubborn thing. It will always show up. So look, Josiah Joker, I think his name says everything about him. He's a joker. I find it is a prank.
The man name is Jokai, not Joker.
Oh,
So if,
okay, Joker.
if that is
Okay, Josiah,
if that is how,
Josiah Joker.
all right. So
Yeah, so Josiah Nelson, you are
yeah,
interrupting me.
but no,
I'm
but
speaking.
you mispronouncing the director's
That's my
name.
pronunciation, Nelson. I'll let you want to teach me how to pronounce on
No,
your show.
okay,
But that's
but
how I
then forget
pronounce words.
just go ahead because the man is he's a public servant. We have to give him due courtesy.
Public servant. This is the guy who has always been zealous. He said President Weah was incompetent and he was not his president. He worked for George Weah until 2018, at the latter part of 2018 before he resigned. He left and went back to America. And guess what? I saw this man.
Johnson is more competent than George Weah.
Exactly. I saw this man at the Capitol Hill in America campaigning for them to put our government, CDC government, to sanction our government. I watched he and Yassini present to one of the representative in America. I just forget his name, but I can still remember. And I'm still looking for that clip to find it. He and a group of people, and the prominent amongst them was Yassini, Bay, Martin Bay, and the Joker guy. They were there and they spoke extensively against the CDC government, how sanction should be brought against them, only because he said the election was rigged in favor of George Weah. So sanctions should be something that should apply. This is the guy who is so zealous that he's becoming like a dictator. Right on up Bwakai. And look, what we said against Bwakai, he continued to exonerate us. The first thing I said about Bwakai was that Bwakai is unwell. And he proved it. He fainted on his inauguration. The second thing I said was he's very indecisive.
We're not going to the president health, Josh. The president.
But Nelson, when people are speaking, let's get freedom of speech. Freedom of speech.
No, that freedom of speech at the detriment of the image of the country.
Nelson, let me conclude. I'll forget about the fainting part. So I said, and I kept saying this thing on the show during the election. I said President Bwakai is indecisive. President Bwakai cannot make decisions. You remember, President Bwakai was the standard bearer when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got dismissed from the party on her birthday. He did not say anything. He was the standard bearer at the time. He went to the CPP with that same mentality, that same ability to be controlled by the zealous people around him. He went there and they brought something about fingering document and he destroyed that entire entity. This is the same Bwakai you guys voted to become president of the Republic of Liberia. This man is indecisive. He makes up things as he goes. He has no idea what he's doing. If you ask him today, no, Nelson, come on, man. If you ask President Bwakai today, he doesn't know what he did yesterday.
30 seconds.
He doesn't know what he did. And this is going to destroy our society because he will get people around him, like Josiah Joker, who will continue to dictate what happens to people only because he cannot put his foot down. He comes from this place, he brings different things. He go to this place, he will talk different things. Anyone who call here, he will say what the person wants. So it's the grandpa we have in authority in Liberia, and it's very sad for our nation. And I think we are going nowhere with Baka. And either he stepped down or he being impeached. I think that's the only way because he has to leave. He's doing nothing. A country is becoming dormant.
You don't have to vote, and you don't have the gust.
I don't know where they
You don't have to vote to impeach the man. You don't have the guts to even start the impeachment process.
Look, we don't want to start something that we're not finished. When we started, we'll finish it. Thank you.
I want to say thanks.
When we started, we'll finish it.
Tonight, it's been a great edition of the Late Night Show. Thanks to our folks in the comment section, to our dear sister Freeman. Thanks for being here. She said, Anthony is
you're talking about code of conduct and respect. Tell your comment people, they must start insulting people too.
No,
I'm saying nonsense.
Anthony, the comment section, the comment section is a community all by itself. Howard, we want to appreciate you, Howard. Thanks for joining us.
Thank God, Rube go back here today.
William Jalal,
no one can cause people all day.
And we appreciate everyone. Last evening we didn't bring the show. I appreciate all of you who reached out as well. My roof called me last night. I missed a call, and a lot of other folks, and we appreciate everyone for always making up time to be here. And in Flomo, we appreciate you as well. Let's hope we get another show tomorrow. A great edition of the program comes up. Hopefully I'll be producing from studio tomorrow. Until then, have a good night, everyone. We appreciate the fact that you were able to stay up with us up to this point for this edition of the program. And bye-bye for now.